Real quick, before we get into it, here's a taste of exactly where tonight's story ends up. A random level 1 player answers yes to summoning a skeleton warrior, and that one decision changes everything. That's a level 3 skeleton warrior, 100 HP, and an attack called Killer Slash, on command whenever he needs it. And his response to a whole wolf pack closing in is just casually asking who's getting shredded first. This is Lord of Summoning, and once anomalies start tearing into the human world, this is exactly the kind of chaos that shows up to answer back. Let's rewind and see how he actually got here. So rewind a few minutes, because none of that has happened yet. Right now, it is 3 very unlucky players in the Immortal World's deadliest desert, and the guy who saves them has not shown up. That panic is over a level 3 Desert Ghost Wolf, 80 HP of straight bad luck. These 3 definitely did not queue up for today. This Mage Priest and Warrior trio wanted an easy level 1. Sand Scorpion and instead rolled a level 3 wolf pack, straight up worst gotcha pull energy. Their captain's whole plan is climbing a tree the wolves supposedly can't follow them up. Solid plan except for the part where they're already bleeding. They're still hurt from an earlier fight, and the 2 pieces of black iron gear they were counting on are already busted. Timing could not be worse. One of them flat out says it, wondering if this random patch of desert is where all 3 of them die today. Someone screams for Xiaohei to watch out as the wolves close in for the kill. Then, out of nowhere, somebody saves all 3 of them, and the status tag floating over this stranger just reads level 1, so no big deal apparently. Nobody can process it. A level 1 rookie walked into a level 3 wolf fight and walked out fine. No cheat codes, just certified plot armor. Homie doesn't even look impressed, basically saying a level 3 monster's combat ability barely registers, humble as ever. Turns out he solo cleared 4 desert ghost wolves with nothing but a basic newbie sword, full One Punch Man energy for a supposed level 1. Before anyone can even celebrate somebody spot something worse charging in, an entire wolf pack this time, because apparently 1 miracle a day wasn't enough. Nobody in the group knows where this many wolves came from, they just know their day found a way to get worse. Best guess, a nearby den caught the scent of their dead packmate's blood and rolled up looking for revenge. Wolves apparently hold grudges too. Somewhere in Black Sand Town, some random villager is just trying to buy bread right now with zero idea. Their whole block is about to become a wolf buffet. Someone warns this exact pack has wiped out whole newbie villages before, which is not the stat you want to hear mid-fight. The warning lands blunt, run now or get ripped to shreds, zero sugarcoating. And our guy's whole response to a death threat from an entire wolf pack is a board? Is that so? That's when the game finally drops his real name, Lin Yuan, right as a summon prompt asks if he wants to call out a skeleton warrior. Yes later, he's got a level 3 skeleton warrior backing him up, 100 HP and an attack literally named Killer Slash, subtle. Just like that, Lin Yuan flips the threat right back on the pack, asking who's actually getting shredded first now. This fight's about to decide who really earns that level 1 tag, and it is not looking good for the wolves. That's basically the whole premise here. Whenever anomalies rip into the human world, somebody like Lin Yuan is exactly the kind of monster who summons monsters right back, and this wolf pack is about to be his first demonstration. So 15 minutes after that wolf massacre, the system rings up with the final tally, 16 desert ghost wolves down, and a fat chunk of EXP to show for it. The captain can't even process it. Their savior apparently just soloed 12 of those 16 wolves by himself. One of the mages tries to make sense of it, asking if he's some kind of summoner, because that skill set doesn't look like anything she's ever seen. He just shrugs off the mage label entirely, and whatever he says next visibly stuns the whole party. Turns out he's rocking a forbidden profession with SSS rank talent, and the game finally puts a name to the guy, Lin Yuan, level 2 necromancer. In his head though, the real story is heavier. Lin Yuan isn't just some random rookie, he's someone who's already lived through all of this once. 3 years back, a massive mystery object called the Devil Star showed up near Earth, and nobody had answers for what it actually was. 3 months later, some shadowy company dropped a holographic game called Immortal World running on tech way beyond anything Earth had, and it broke the entire planet's brain. Everyone treated it as just a game, right up until people started keeping those in-game abilities in the real world too, and they got a name, the Chosen Ones. Then a cult calling themselves followers of the Starry Sky Evil God crossed over from the game into reality and started slaughtering people. Lin Yuan's own parents died in the opening wave of that massacre. Humanity threw every Chosen One they had at the problem and still got wiped out, forced into a full retreat. Lin Yuan died in that same last stand. Except somehow, an hour ago, he woke back up at the exact moment he first logged into Immortal World, a full regression, memories, and all. This time, the system hands him something completely different, a forbidden profession necromancer with 2 SSS rank talents, Dark Summoning and Underworld Gate. His whole plan this run is simple, level up faster than last time, and actually keep his family and Earth alive. So when the system offers to try dark summoning on one of those dead wolves, the answer is an immediate yes. His whole profession's gimmick is raising monster corpses as loyal zombies that fight for him instead of the other way around. The freshly raised zombie ghost wolf keeps its old level 3 stats, but now hits with a bite worth double damage and shrugs off fear, poison, blindness, and pain like none of it exists. His other talent, Underworld Gate, is basically storage for these things, and the higher his level climbs, the bigger that undead army gets. Naturally, the party loses it. Watching a corpse get back up on command has that effect, and somebody just straight up asks who this guy even is. Before anyone gets an answer, the timer in Lin Yuan's head finishes counting down to something way worse. A world boss is due to descend right here in the Grave Desert. His answer to a world boss alert is just casually deciding it's time to go kill it. Then somebody screams that it's already here. Someone remembers the official patch notes clocking this thing's attack range at 50 meters and starts screaming for everyone to run, save me included. And there it is, the giant Death Wolf, a Lord-ranked boss packing 2400 HP and 3 named skills, staring down a guy whose whole army is one skeleton. Word gets out fast, and the other players watching Lin Yuan walk toward that Lord-class world boss alone are already begging him to turn back. Nobody in the crowd believes a single player can take down something called Direwolf and live to tell the story. Every step he takes toward it draws more stares, because from where they're standing, this just looks like a slow walk into a grave. Someone in the crowd even clocks his gear and assumes he's just another clueless newbie about to learn a very expensive lesson. For context, this thing is a level 6 Lord-ranked boss, and by their own admission, the entire crowd together still wouldn't be enough to take it down. In this game, monsters scale all the way from common to elite, chief, lord, king, dominator, and divine, and even lord class, the bottom rung of actual world bosses, is still a death sentence for anyone underleveled. The panic only gets louder. Everyone's convinced he's walking straight into a grave. Even the boss itself doesn't seem impressed, sizing him up like he's just another snack. Direwolf opens with 2 nasty skills back to back, Vicious Wolf's Howl and Deathclaw, exactly the kind of moveset that ends fights early. In his head, Lin Yuan's already fought this exact monster before, back when the strongest adventurers around were barely level 3 and only survived this fight by grouping up, and even then, he nearly died doing it. This time around though, he's not that same underleveled kid anymore, and he knows it. Direwolf closes the distance faster than anyone expects, and the hit lands hard. Lin Yuan answers with one word, rise, and calls his entire undead army straight up out of the ground. His whole zombie horde pours out to meet the boss head on. The crowd loses it completely, watching him single-handedly turn an entire pack of desert ghost wolves into his own personal zombie army. Turns out he was farming on the walkover the whole time, hit level 3 and maxed his storage out at 30 undead before he even got here. There's actual strategy behind this too, in this game's aggro system. A summoner always gets targeted first, unless one of the summons lands a hit and rips the aggro away. So Lin Yuan starts playing tug of war with the boss's attention, baiting it off his zombies the second it turns on them so his army doesn't get wiped. Individually, each zombie wolf is barely hitting for 15 damage, but like the saying goes, even ants can take down an elephant. Add up enough of those ant-sized hits and Direwolf's massive 3400 HP bar is not going to survive very long, and the wolf is figuring that out way too late. Direwolf's HP bar is already cratering, 500, 300, 200, crashing towards 0 fast. One more critical hit later, and the world boss is sitting at 10 HP, basically already dead. That's exactly when a few opportunists decide this is their moment to swoop in and steal the kill. They spot his zombie army looking wrecked from the fight, and figure he's an easy target now too. Somebody in the crowd tries to warn him a group of thieves is closing in. Lin Yuan doesn't even need to look up. One move and all 3 of them are instantly dead, leaving the entire crowd stunned. Back to the actual boss, one final critical hit, and Direwolf's HP finally bottoms out for real, 480 EXP and a soul gem drop to show for it. Being the literal first person to kill a world boss in this entire game has him wondering just how good the bonus rewards are about to get. Soul gems trade in for legendary gear once he's high enough level to even reach the place that accepts them, so for now, it's just banking value for later. Gear in this game climbs all the way from common up through legendary and mythic, and most newbies never see past uncommon. 2 hours before any of this, he'd already used his past life knowledge to send a pair of skeleton warriors to lure a group of elite blacks and lizards off their post. Then he snuck straight into the chest they were guarding and walked off with a rare grade black lizard robe. Back in the present, the system officially crowns him the first player to ever kill a world boss, and hands him the Hunter title, a flat 10% boost to attack, crit chance, and spell damage. Titles in this game aren't just flavor text either, and this one's genuinely strong. On top of that, he also gets a scarce grade chest just for being first. Inside is a moonlight-infused sword worth a flat 100 attack, plus an accessory that adds 40 spirit and a passive that corrodes enemies for double his spell damage. Even he admits it, that is an absolutely massive haul for one fight. All that EXP rockets him from barely level 3 to nearly capped level 4, and he pours the free stat points straight into spirit and strength. His class has evolved yet again too, Necro Hunter now, forbidden rank, with his Netherworld gate capacity bumped up to 40 slots. On paper, his stats are already the best of any player currently in the Gravel Desert. Only downside, his whole Ghostwolf zombie army got completely burned through winning this fight. Good news is, the upgraded gate can now hold up to 40 replacements, so that's not exactly a permanent loss. And then he does something even bolder, turning Dark Summoning on the corpse of Direwolf itself. What comes back out is a level 6 Direwolf zombie packing 2400 HP, a stun howl, and a buff aura that pumps every other undead's attack and crit chance, and that absolute unit slots straight into an army that suddenly looks a lot scarier. So last time our undead summoner did not just beat the world boss, he turned the thing into his own personal attack dog. Wide range damage, crowd control, and now a giant undead wolf on payroll, he is speedrunning the final boss arc without even trying. The players nearby are putting it together that the gate spitting out undead wolves earlier probably has his fingerprints all over it. Their exact takeaway is, forget the world boss, this guy is radiating actual final boss energy. Turns out the thieves he wasted earlier dropped the Black Iron Sword, and he already owns something way better. So he starts walking straight at a group of low-level players holding a sword, and you already know what is going through their heads. Is he here to loot our gear too? Can we even run peak collateral damage NPC energy? Wrong place at the worst possible time. One of them stammers out that she was the one who warned him about the ambush, basically begging to be remembered as useful. Instead of clapping them too, bro just hands over the sword and tells her to put it to use. That black iron blade is worth tens of thousands of coins, and he is giving it away like spare change, the audacity of being that rich in loot. 10 minutes later, the whole vibe flips. He feels something shift, and you can tell right away this is not a good sign. His session timer just ran out, and he gets yanked back to reality mid-flex. And here's the reality check. The guy who just tamed a world boss is currently broke and saving up for a gaming pod like the rest of us saving for rent. Quick lore drop. This VR game called World of Immortality splits players into login zones by country, and each zone holds its own set of realms to spawn into. His zone alone has 4 options on the table: an ancient desert kingdom, a returning southern empire, a dark northern empire, and a tidal archipelago. Given a second shot at life, he picks the exact same starting realm he picked before, full new game plus energy, same save file, except now he has the whole strategy guide memorized. Because right before he died the first time around, he uncovered a secret. And then it cuts straight to people screaming to be saved, over and over. Whatever that secret is, it is clearly tied to whatever goes horribly wrong next, and that is exactly where we pick this back up. Somewhere between fights, Lin Yuan actually catches a real lead, a topaz emblem tied to a guild out of the Western Kingdom. Turns out the very first cultist of the Starry Evil God isn't some monster at all, it's an actual player. And Lin Yuan remembers exactly who that is, the same person who eventually summons the evil god down onto Earth itself in his last life. He's got roughly 3 years before that actually happens, and if he can take this guy out before then, maybe this time the tragedy doesn't repeat. Only real lead is that emblem, and the guilds that use it only exist in the Western Kingdom's capital, which he can't even enter until he hits level 10. So the mission for now is simple: grind fast enough to actually get there. Right in the middle of that whole dramatic internal monologue, he apparently fat fingers a random menu and has to double check he didn't accidentally summon something. Quick bit of lore: some players called the Chosen Ones get to bring their in-game powers into the real world instantly, loaded with hidden classes and ridiculous luck, and they end up being the main line of defense once the evil god actually shows up. Last time around, Lin Yuan only got his own powers to carry over once the actual disaster hit. This time, it happened way ahead of schedule. He's still not totally sure how his Forbidden Necro Hunter class stacks up against an actual Chosen One's hidden class, but it clearly is not normal. Before he can think much more about it, somebody logs him out for him, and a very familiar voice is already asking what exactly he thinks he's doing. Turns out, he's back home and dinner is on the table, one he apparently cooked himself, and the family's already hyping it up. In his head though, this moment hits different. People usually only understand what something's worth after they've already lost it, and his old self spends 0 time appreciating days exactly like this one. His mom starts in on the classic worry about video games ruining him, and his dad's quietly begging her to drop it before things get tense. Because Lin Yuan already knows exactly how that fear plays out, He lost this family once and spent the aftermath realizing how little he actually appreciated them. Talk shifts to his sister, who's skipping dinner to cram for mock exams, and someone suggests he swing by later with an actual home-cooked meal instead of a cold-packed lunch. Nobody can quite believe he's the one who learned to cook, and by the end of dinner he's already handing his chicken wings over without a fight. Then the scene flips completely. Quiet family dinner cutting straight to him, gasping through physical training, because if this power really does carry into the real world, he needs a body that can actually handle it. 50 meters in 5.5 seconds isn't bad for a starting point, and with that he heads back, already plotting the next step toward that 3-year deadline. Straight out of that wolf fight, Lin Yuan pushes deeper into the grave desert, and something out there already lets out a low warning growl. He clocks it instantly, something's watching. 3 wailing birds down for a grand total of 15 EXP, and even Lin Yuan sounds unimpressed by how little that's actually worth. Turns out those birds aren't just weak filler, their screech is basically a wolf dinner bell, which is exactly why he farmed them on purpose. He chugs down monster essence mid-fight for a flat plus 10 to every stat, casually treating an entire wolf swarm like a warm-up set. First 4 wolves clear almost instantly. Then the kill counter just keeps climbing, 10 wolves down and counting. More wolves keep pouring in, and Lin Yuan actually welcomes it, muttering that they showed up right on schedule. 20 wolves deep into this farm run, and he's not even close to slowing down. By the time the counter hits 40 dead desert ghost wolves, this whole fight has gone full. Solo leveling montage, the exact kind of grind that turns nobodies into monsters. 2 fights later, his Netherworld gate is completely restocked with a fresh undead army, because apparently every wolf corpse here doubles as a paycheck. His whole profession's leveled up too. Necromancer's gone. Say hello to Soul Reaper level 5, gate capacity maxed out at 50 slots. With 4 of his core stats boosted from that essence chug, he figures he can finally go toe-to-toe with elite monsters his own level. And with the grinding done for now, Lin Yuan's got a new target. It's time to go find that person, whoever that actually is. Before chasing down whoever this mystery person even is, Lin Yuan swings back into Black Sand Town to level up something a lot less flashy, his actual skill list. He tracks down Kansi, the resident mage instructor, the exact same guy who trained him back when he was a rookie mage in his first life. Kansi, for the record, seems way more excited about the drink money this lesson is about to earn him than the actual teaching part. Lin Yuan's whole angle here is that his new Soul Reaper class still fights like a caster underneath, so brushing up on basic mage skills should transfer over. He picks 3 to start with: a ranged Spirit Flame attack, a healing spell, and a stealth trick for getting out of trouble alive. Lesson pays off fast. He walks out with all 3 skills unlocked, a heal that patches up 10% HP, and enough utility to actually survive a bad pull. Only catch, these are rookie tier versions, so if he wants the real upgrades he's going to need way more resources first. That hunt for resources takes him east to Black Sand Mountain, where he stumbles onto an entire kobold mine, level 5 monsters that ambush by smell and roll in packs of about 100. Numbers like that make kobolds basically a buffet for his undead army, exactly the kind of grind he needs right now. He preps with a night vision potion and a torch, then makes the plan simple: farm these kobolds until his concealment and spirit flame skills max out, looting whatever chests turn up along the way. 15 minutes into the mine, and something in the dark finally starts moving. The kobold miners have officially arrived, level 5, 120 HP each, 100 strong, and every single one of them is headed straight for his front line. Straight into the swarm, Lin Yuan gives the order to leave nothing standing. The kill counter starts ticking almost immediately, 2 down, then 8, his army chewing through kobolds without slowing. Individually, these things aren't much of a threat. The real danger is just staying clear of those pickaxes. He tries testing out a fresh invisibility skill mid-fight, and immediately gets yelled at by one of his own summons for nearly walking straight into it. Kill count's already past 20, and that invisibility skill is still sitting at basically 0 proficiency, 5 seconds of stealth for now. At least the skill's leveling up a little with every use. Problem is, these common grade kobolds are barely worth the EXP. This whole approach is just too slow for what he actually needs. So instead of just farming EXP off them, he starts raising every kobold corpse on the spot to restock his zombie army. His real priority, though, is tracking down whatever boss is actually running this mine. Then the tunnel splits into 2 directions with 0 indication which one actually leads anywhere useful. One quick detour later, he stumbles onto a couple of mud slimes guarding basically nothing, an easy 2 kills for pocket change EXP. Then he runs straight into something bigger, a kobold overseer, an actual elite ranked monster with 3 times the stats of anything he's fought in this mine so far. In his head, it's just confirmation of the obvious. Out here, it's still survival of the fittest, no exceptions. And that cuts both ways, because even the hunter can end up being somebody else's prey, and something out there already has his scent. Back in the Kobold mine, Lin Yuan's playing a different kind of hunt this time, letting the Kobolds think they're the ones stalking prey. The second one gets close enough, he flips the script and nails it dead on. That scream is the sound of a Kobold realizing way too late who the actual predator here is. First kill of the run is already a Kobold supervisor, not just some rank-and-file miner. That growling spreading through the tunnels means the rest of the mine just clocked he's here. The next supervisor panics and pops a whip skill, juicing every miner nearby with a 60-second buff to attack and movement speed. Lin Yuan does the math out loud. 40, maybe 50 Kobolds incoming, but his own undead followers are close to an even match in both numbers and raw strength. So he cracks open the Netherworld gate and lets his entire zombie army out for some fresh air. And just like that, the hunt officially flips. Undead army versus Kobold horde, round 1. One of his summons lands a demonic wolf's howl, clean, stunning a Kobold and stacking severe bleeding on top of it. Lin Yuan gives the order and the kill counter just starts climbing. 5, 10, 20, 40 Kobolds down in what feels like no time. All that farming pays off instantly. He dings level 6 on the spot. Why? One Kobold tries bolting for the exit and gets a Blade's opinion on that plan before it can even finish the thought. Then something bigger steps in and immediately fires off a skill called Decisive Strike. That's the actual Kobold boss, level 7, a full 1000 HP, and way more bite than anything they've fought in this mine so far. And its first words aren't a roar, it's a line that lands way creepier, telling Lin Yuan it's been waiting for him specifically. Lin Yuan sees an opening and takes it immediately. But even a clean hit just bounces off, exactly the kind of defense you'd expect from something chieftain ranked. This thing fights nothing like the elites he's cleared already, way more calculated. Overall, this chieftain is packing 2 to 3 times the raw power of anything elite ranked he's faced so far. So the plan shifts, keep his distance, and just grind steady damage instead of trading hits. He sends his army in with Strike and Vicious Wolf's Howl stacking damage from every angle. The boss answers with Heavy Strike, and it lands as a brutal, double, critical hit. Lin Yuan responds by buffing his whole army at once, 10% more attack and a straight 20% bump to crit chance across the board. Then he adds Soulfire into the mix for even more pressure. Turns out the chieftain's magic resistance is surprisingly weak, and that's exactly the gap he needed. He slips into invisibility to reposition, and the boss just taunts him for it, daring him to walk right back into range. That's when he spots it, one exposed gap in the armor with nothing covering it. The chieftain roars and practically dares him to try landing the hit. One good shot at that gap and the armor actually starts giving way. One more clean hit and this fight is over. The boss answers with nothing but pure rage, and the finishing blow is already on its way down. The chieftain's still fighting back, but at this point, it's already a losing battle. His army just keeps racking up numbers around it. 15 Kobold miners here, 10 overseers there, 35 more miners on top of that. The second it tries bolting, Lin Yuan makes sure it isn't going anywhere alive. And that's the chieftain down for good, 50 EXP banked. Level 7 now, one step closer to hitting level 10, and finally being able to reach that main city in the Western Desert. His Stealth and Spirit Flame skills both cap out too, leveling to rank 2 and doubling their effect in the process. Then there's actual loot waiting, a bronze-grade treasure chest. Cracks it open and walks away with a leather pouch, a torch, a skull mask, and a pair of gloves all at once. Turns out that pouch alone is worth 20 gold coins, and once real-world banks start letting players cash that out, 20 gold is apparently worth 200,000 yuan. Not a bad payday for one chest. The torch alone gives him permanent night vision, no time limit at all. The skull mask shaves 5% off incoming physical damage and pads out his stamina and strength. But the real prize is the gloves, silver grade, built to match the raw strength of the exact chieftain he just killed, 30 flat points each to attack and defense. Even he's impressed, pulling silver grade gear out of a bronze chest is not normal luck. Meanwhile, somewhere else near this same cave, a different group is celebrating their own win, the Bloodscar Guild's leader, Huang Filong. He and his younger brother, Vice Leader Huang Feihu, just cleared 30 Phantom Desert Wolves in under a minute, and they're pretty proud of it. Big Brother energy is at an all-time high, throwing around lines about how nothing's impossible when the two of them team up, and promising to wipe out some rival guild the second they cross paths again. Feihu's got one thing eating at him though. If some random guy named Lin Yuan hadn't shown up out of nowhere, that world boss first kill would have been theirs. Right on cue, the system flashes the exact notification that's been bothering him, Lin Yuan, credited for killing the world boss. Feihu swears the second he actually runs into this guy in person, he's unloading everything he's got on him. His brother immediately shuts that down, reminding him for what sounds like the 100th time not to go picking fights on impulse. Philon's actually thinking bigger picture. If this Lin Yuan is genuinely that strong, recruiting him beats making an enemy out of him, and he heads off alone to scout a nearby kobold dungeon while the rest of the group rests up. The second his brother's out of earshot though, Fei Hu's already plotting his own private revenge fantasy. Fangs pulled, head removed, the whole dramatic package. Before that grudge can go any further though, one of his own guildmates interrupts with something that stops him cold, and whatever they just found changes everything. So while everyone catches their breath, Bro is casually pulling up a full stat card on his newest kill. Kobold Chieftain Zombie, level 7, a skill that hits for double damage, basically a boss monster reduced to a status window popping up like a loot notification. 70 zombies deep into his personal army now, and he is already planning to keep the grind going. Cut to a girl getting cornered by a pack of red named players who are clearly enjoying this way too much. They call themselves lucky for finding a pretty girl alone out here, which tells you everything about who we are dealing with. She warns them to stay back or she will not hold back either, and honestly, good for her. They laugh it off, call her a useless mage, and dare her to try something. Whatever she throws actually lands better than even she expected. One of the goons panics and tries to run for the guildmaster because this fight is already going sideways for them. Then a new voice cuts in, and the panic flips straight to confusion. Who is this guy? Quick context. The Bloodstained Guild these goons belong to is the #1 gang of red named criminals in this starting town, players who racked up enough crime points from theft and assault that the system itself flagged them. Dying in this game is not real death, but it does wipe your gear and levels, which for most players might as well be the same thing. One of them clocks the guild tag and asks if Bro runs with the Bloodstained Guild too, and he does not. He has history with them. In his previous life, these exact rats gave him nothing but trouble, and now the famous #1 guild in Blackson Town is about to learn what regression with a grudge looks like. They run the usual intimidation script. You have offended our vice guild master, now you know fear. Cut your own arms off and beg on your knees calling him grandpa. Bad move, because Bro flips the whole threat right back on them like an Uno reverse card, offering to take their arms instead. What happens next has full John Wick energy, quick and without mercy, and someone in the back can only whisper, how strong is this guy? A potion gets chugged to patch up the damage, but the trash talk keeps coming. Hey, you brat. You are dead, except at this point the threat is not landing the way it used to. Fresh off nearly taking out their vice guild master, the actual guild master shows up demanding to know who has a death wish this big. His own guys point him straight at the kid responsible, and the guild master's whole reaction is just, who? One look at those cold, indifferent eyes and that ice-bright sword and the guild master gets full, edgy anime. Rival energy off this stranger, and immediately regrets asking. Just standing near him feels like the air itself is being squeezed out of the room. The goons try to hype their boss up, screaming at him to show this kid their might, real dignity in numbers energy. One of them clocks the sword though, a weapon that most likely came off a boss kill, and does the math out loud. 9 times out of 10, this is Lin Yuan. You can practically hear the final boss music kick in as it dawns on the whole group exactly who they decided to pick a fight with. Lin Yuan skips the theatrics entirely and just asks straight up if this guy runs the Blood Filth Guild. The guild master decides dignity matters more than survival instincts and commits to the fight anyway. Swords clash, someone screams for him to die, and honestly, the outcome was never really in question. One last goon tries the classic threat. Making an enemy of this guild is the stupidest decision of your life, and Lin Yuan just treats it as an opening. The reaction shot alone tells you the guild master just got folded. And Lin Yuan is already turning to whoever is next in line. Next, your turn. His whole verdict on the entire guild is that they never even deserve to be taken seriously in the first place. There is also a quick system note running in the background. Crime points like these decay automatically after a week if nobody racks up more, basically a cooldown timer on being a menace. The survivors bolt, and when someone asks if they should give chase, Lin Yuan waves it off, calling them nothing but small insects. The real prize is the loot pile left behind. A silver battle axe that explodes on impact, and a silver blade that lights enemies on fire. A genuinely solid gotcha pull for anyone willing to fight this guild and lose. The girl he saved earlier finally catches up to thank him properly, and admits she still does not even know his name. He starts to answer, my name is one you will be seeing at the top of the world's top 10 list someday, and honestly, after watching that fight, who is going to argue? Before he can even walk off, someone else is already begging to tag along, because forget rankings, everybody just wants to be on the winning team. So Bro is out here casually farming, wailing thunder scorpions like it is a Tuesday chore, and these things are only level 6 to him. 60 kills in, and he has jumped straight to level 8 purely as a side effect of grinding herbs, basically a free gacha level up nobody even paid for. Rewind 2 days though, because this whole grind started with an NPC quest nobody else even knows is a jackpot. An alchemist named Emor drops a quest: gather 100 paralysis herbs within 1 day and hand them over. Here is the part only Bro knows. In his past life, someone got rich off exactly this quest, because finishing it unlocks the recipe for a thunder resistance potion worth thousands of gold. Emor only shows up in town today, then retires for good right after, so Bro is straight up speedrunning Fate and sniping the jackpot before anyone else even knows it exists. The scorpions guarding the herbs barely register as a threat to him, so he uses the grind to level up his actual gathering skill instead, currently sitting at a proficiency of 120 out of 200. Naturally, he decides to push deeper into the area, because why stop at easy mode? That is when the game itself starts screaming danger 3 times in a row, which is never a good sign. Turns out an actual mutated demon monster just spawned in a zone that was not supposed to have one. Crystal Demon Thunder Scorpion, level 10, 2800 health, 4 skills including a full-blown thunderstorm attack. This thing has zero business guarding a herb patch. Instead of backing off, Bro decides today is the day he test drives his silver cutting strike for real on this exact monster. Its armor does not have a single gap to exploit, which is exactly the kind of Dark Souls energy nobody asked for. It fires off a paralyzing thunder strike, then follows up with a poisonous needle stab, stacking damage types like it is trying to end this in one combo. Bro admits out loud that both its strength and its defense are way past what he expected walking in. So the plan shifts. Before he can land a clean hit himself, he needs to split this thing's attention first. Which means it is time to call in backup. Kobold, get up, we are doing this together. So the Kobold is in the fight now, and the very first double crit whiffs, which on any other day would be a bad sign. Except the boss answers right back with an actual earth-shattering pincer attack, so nobody has time to worry about one missed roll. Bro fires his upgraded flame spell straight into the opening, and this time the crit rolls land twice in a row, Gotcha Luck finally deciding to cooperate. Turns out that double critical came from his heavy strike proc, stacked on a hidden hunter title bonus, quietly buffing his attack, hit chance, and crit damage this whole fight. Since there is still no gap anywhere in this thing's armor to exploit, his solution is refreshingly simple: forget finding a gap, just shatter the entire shell. The scorpion goes out screaming as its whole body cracks apart piece by piece. Mutated demon beast down, 560 XP banked, and the kill screen dumps its entire skill list like a boss card nobody asked to see twice. No time to celebrate though, because the ground starts rumbling and something else is already inbound. Bro's answer is to just point at his freshly tamed pet and let it handle the welcoming committee. The Kobold casts Crystal Lightning right back at them, which means, yes, his undead pets straight up inherit the skills of whatever they used to be. Critical hits start stacking back to back, and something finally hits the floor for good. 2 level ups in a row, straight to level 10, and Bro's whole reaction is just not bad, barely blinking at it. The real jackpot is the loot chest. Scarce grade weapons across the board, a guardian boot, a paralysis ring, basically a small smog-sized horde off one random field boss. The one thought running through his head is refreshingly grounded though: sell a few of these, and his parents' actual quality of life goes up back in the real world. Area fully cleared, but the notifications are not done yet. A superior skill book drops, locked to his exact class, Necro Hunter only, meaning basically nobody else on this server can even use it. Dark Curse drains a fifth of an enemy's health, or tops off a fifth of one of his zombies' health instead, on a 10-second cooldown. His only comment is that his luck has been pretty good lately, which from the guy quietly speedrunning an entire second life might be the understatement of the chapter. Before we cut away from the dungeon, quick note that Dark Curse skill heals his zombies for a fifth of their health per cast, and with the monster still growling behind him, Bro is already looking ahead, next stop Sandwind City, to track down the very first cultist. Now here is the part that actually hits different. Back in the real world, this same guy who just casually tamed a boss monster still lets his dad try to fix the air conditioner himself to save a few bucks. Predictably, Dad throws his back out, Mom is not having it, and the lecture about just calling a professional writes itself. Dad's defense is that he fixed the washing machine himself last week with a simple tweak, which is exactly the confidence that gets people hurt. The next day, though, something very different shows up at the door: a delivery crew installing brand new gear and asking the family to confirm the order. Mom genuinely asks if she is dreaming, which, fair considering what happens next. Staff at the gym are stunned watching this one customer train without even breaking a sweat, then even more stunned when his card comes back as a Supreme VIP, the tier reserved for accounts sitting on 5 million plus. The official story he gives everyone is prize money from a gaming tournament. Technically not a lie, just leaving out the part where the tournament was a dungeon full of zombies. Turns out he sold off gear he did not need, fixed up the house, and got the whole family a gym membership, mom, dad, and his little sibling, Lin Tan included. His actual reasoning is way ahead of everyone else in the room. Get the family in shape now so they adapt faster whenever they eventually log into the immortal world themselves. Cut to school, where Lin Tan's classmates are already hyped for the internet cafe run the second the bell rings. One kid is bragging about a birthday party with a strawberry cake courtesy of an amazing older brother, and the jealousy in the room is instant. Half the class is out here saying they want a brother too, and Lin Tan's response is basically, "You really do not understand what you are asking for." Elsewhere, a completely different situation is playing out. The girl everyone calls the school belle is turning down group after group trying to recruit her. This time, they skip the messengers and show up in person instead, which tells you exactly how badly somebody wants her on their side. So remember that recruiting drama from last chapter turns out showing up in person actually meant showing up to harass her. One of them grabs for her face, talking about her smooth skin, and she shuts it down immediately. Hands off, get out of my face. She threatens to call the police, they just mock her for it, calling her fake and pure acting, real charming crowd. Things start getting physical, and that is exactly when a voice nobody in this group was expecting cuts through the noise. "Who gave you permission to touch my sister?" And yeah, that is Lin Yuan standing right there. The thugs immediately try to play tough, calling him a stray dog that wandered in out of nowhere. Bad read on their part, he clears the whole group with zero hesitation, total wrong background characters to pick a fight with today. A couple of dazed groans later and they are gone, full stop, no rematch. His sister's first question is basically, "Why are you even here?" since as far as she knew, he only ever logs off to eat. He explains dad's back is still messed up and mom is home taking care of him, so picking her up fell to him today. There is a genuinely awkward beat where she admits it has been a long time since they actually talked like this, siblings who apparently drifted further apart than either of them meant to. Meanwhile, her whole class is losing it. Is he really your brother? He does not look anything like the lazy brother you always complain about. Someone else is straight up asking why she never mentioned how good-looking senior Lin Yuan actually is, which, fair question honestly. The whole hallway is quietly recalculating. Was he always this tall? When did he start working out? No wonder he handled those guys so easily. Somebody even double checks out loud that this is in fact the same person they have known for years. Even his own sister is sitting there wondering where this sudden glow-up came from, because something about her brother clearly just changed, and not by accident. So right after that whole hallway glow-up moment, class lets out, and one of his classmates actually offers to carry him home since he is still limping. Bro says absolutely not, he would rather limp the entire way on a sprained ankle than get piggybacked in front of the whole school. Priorities are priorities. Someone in the crowd still clocks the limp and calls out the sprain anyway, and everyone is a little stunned. They even notice something that small. He waves it off and heads home solo, and the second he walks through the door, it is a full announcement. He is back, mom and dad included. Mom takes one look and basically starts narrating a Song Jin-woo glow-up in real time, telling his sister her brother looks like a completely different person. And the receipts keep coming. Apparently he has been cooking, doing dishes, even buying new appliances for the house, which, from a guy who used to just log off to eat, is genuinely alarming behavior. Mom throws in that the sibling relationship is finally back to how it was when they were little, and his sister just sits there muttering, "What a strange guy. Has he actually changed?" Meanwhile, his sister is quietly still running the old file in her head, the good-for-nothing shut-in who lives for games, because nobody at that table has any clue what he has actually been through. Mom hands him something to rub on after his shower for the healing. He grabs it, announces he is heading back to his room to play games, and tells everyone not to bother him unless it is actually important. His sister does not even blink, says nobody was lining up to go in his room anyway, which is either a sick burn or just brutally accurate, hard to tell with siblings. Downstairs, Mom is still riding the high, pointing out how much better things are now and asking what actually happened at school today. "Nothing, Mom, just heading to shower," he says, which is a massive lie considering he just publicly wrecked a group of harassers a few hours ago. In his head, though, he is already somewhere else entirely, figuring home is settled for a while, so it is finally time to log back into the real business, and just like that, we are dropped straight into Sanwind City, the main district of the immortal world. First thing we see is a guard hauling some poor guy out by force, and this dude is begging. "Honorable officer, I swear this is a misunderstanding." Full-on final boss music energy from the guard's side of things. The guard is not buying a word of it, just cuts him off, "Shut up, take your lies, and go rot in prison, case closed." Bro watches the whole thing and quietly clocks something useful. These patrol guards are apparently way more trigger-happy about criminals than he remembered. Which matters, because he is doing his own crime math right now, counting down how many days until his own record clears, landing on 3 more days before he can move freely again. But laying low does not mean sitting still, because he decides right then this is the perfect window to go pay a visit to a certain long-lost old friend, and that is exactly where things pick back up next. So last chapter ended with him deciding to visit a certain old friend, and it turns out that errand starts in the middle of a full-blown church baptism. Not exactly what anyone pictured a Summoner side quest opening with. Ceremony wraps up fast though, because the guy he actually came for is not the one getting blessed. He is here on behalf of the Charity House for the Poor with somewhere very specific to be. Word is there is a critical patient inside, and yeah, that patient has a name, Knight Doug, so in he goes. Quick backstory dump. Doug used to run with one of the strongest Knight Orders out west, the Scorpion Lions Knights, so this is not just some random sick old man. And here's the part only our guy actually knows. Back in his first life at level 15, this exact same knight handed him his very first gold grade weapon. Small world for someone who is technically starting over. So this is not charity work, this is a debt getting repaid, and he says it plainly. He is here to cure the poison currently wrecking Doug's body. Doug is not impressed. Cracks that a level 10 mage barely outranks the guys on street patrol. Savage bedside manner for a man on death's door. Bro does not even blink, just lays out the real numbers, untreated. Doug does not see another month. Turns out the fix needs one very specific item, a full 1,000 grams of rotted gill fish fat, and the only place stocking that is the muddy clay desert, a spot people do not casually stroll into. Right on cue, the system pings in with an actual quest prompt, accept Doug's request, yes or no, like the game itself is holding its breath. Zero hesitation, of course, he says. No dramatic pause, no second guessing, straight into the desert. Cut to the actual bounty, a level 15 elite called the Rotted Gillfish. 3,500 HP and teeth sharp enough that someone on the team is already screaming, "Don't let it bite you," which, yeah, noted. Attack call goes out, and this immediately turns into a full brawl. One teammate eats a direct hit straight to the back, exactly the kind of injury report nobody wants to file. Panic sets in fast. Help! Help! Somebody's screaming while the fish keeps coming. Pure group chat energy in the middle of a boss fight. That is when our guy busts out Tailwave Leap, one of the monster's own signature moves, and honestly makes it look better doing it than the actual fish does. The beast roars in real pain for once. First sign this fight might actually be turning. One panicking teammate is already writing their own eulogy, convinced this is the run that finally gets them. Bro just cuts through the panic with a flat "don't get in my way," full main character energy switched on. Another roar tears through the desert as the whole fight reaches its actual peak. All we get back from him is a quiet and that little smirk alone is basically a spoiler for who is about to walk out of this desert standing. Picking up straight from that desert brawl, our guy takes what should be a nasty hit and just gets back up, going, "Wait, I actually survived that," like even he was not sure for a second. The other players nearby are somehow more shook than he is, gawking that the so-called great hero was literally just standing there a second ago and is already fine. Numbers start flying fast, -50, -60, -60, again, he is chain deleting these fish one after another. Somebody yells, "Watch out," because apparently this mob just called in backup. He does not even flinch, just fires back. Is that all you've got? Complete disrespect toward whatever just tried to jump him. Funniest part, the actual system tag on this mob reads, "Grouped Scum, level 15, still scum." The game itself is roasting them before he even gets a hit in. Meanwhile, the rest of the party, all 8 of them, are standing there admitting they almost got flattened by the exact same fish he is currently cutting down 5 at a time solo. One of them says it should be flat out impossible for one guy to be doing this alone, and honestly, valid question. Here is the real reason these things are rated so dangerous though. It was never the teeth, it is their group attack skill. Sure enough, it fires off right on schedule, and the system flags exactly what just got cast. Cursed Fong Echo, a toxic fog that hits everyone caught in range with confusion and straight up auditory hallucinations. Nasty combo if you have never seen it before. Our guy just goes, huh, almost bored about it, because he has already eaten this exact trick once before, just apparently not happening again this time around. Giant wolf, rise, he calls out, and something massive answers him. Howl of the hungry wolf drops right into the fog, target confirmed hit, and the entire moldfish mob gets slapped with dizzy status on the spot. Counter secured, and now it is just cleanup time. Get down and meet your death, he says, and that is less a threat and more a status update on what is already happening. Vital point hit lands clean, system message and all. Then another and another, die, he says, and the fish just keep dropping while the same vital point hit message spams the screen. He even gets a taunt in on the way out, something like, since you clearly love playing the role of insects stuck in the mud. Then rot down there forever, scum, final blow lands, and that is the whole mob wiped. And that is exactly when, completely out of nowhere in the middle of all this wreckage, Somebody says a name that stops everything cold. Princess Lagertha. The fight from last chapter never actually stopped. If anything, the mob just regroups and comes right back for round 2. He answers by summoning his Thunder Scorpion corpse and immediately cutting it loose with a skill called Crystal Thunderstorm. Full bombardment, straight into the mob. Even he admits it is not enough. Too big a level gap and way too many targets to wipe out in one clean sweep. But instead of panicking about that math, he is already 3 steps ahead, quietly deciding exactly who actually needs to die first. Wait a second, he notices. The scorpion is only hitting the bellies of the female fish specifically. That is not random at all. And then it clicks even harder. The male fish have straight up started attacking each other. Turns out when female rotfish lay eggs or die, they release this glutinous substance that works like a pheromone bomb, sending every nearby male into a full-blown protective frenzy. A frenzy that, conveniently, makes them attack indiscriminately, meaning literally anything nearby, including each other. And he says it outright, he is exploiting that on purpose to turn the whole school on itself, full Uno reverse energy pulled on an entire ecosystem. Someone yells, "My great lord, watch out," because apparently there is an even bigger female in the mix, almost male-sized and clearly not happy about any of this. Perfect timing though, he says, and calls in his ghostly wolves to hit it head-on. Even 6 of them together cannot land a fatal blow on a level 15 elite. That is just how tanky this thing is. But he is not trying to kill it with the wolves. He just needs its movement locked down, and once that happens, everything gets a lot easier. Elite Rotfish, confirmed kill, just like that, exactly as planned. One of his own summons is still catching up to the plan, straight up asking what the Great Lord is even doing right now. The answer, point everyone toward the rock-dead center of the battlefield. Right there, he calls out, and the whole field answers with one massive roar. Gather them all, attract them all, the order goes out, and the entire chaotic school starts funneling toward one single spot. The impact alone is enough to leave the whole school dazed, and that is when it finally clicks for everyone watching. He has been using the egg pheromones this entire time as a non-stop bait signal, basically running Batman levels of prep work on a school of fish. Fight winds down with someone telling him it is finally time to go grab a drink, which, fair, though that whole Lagertha name from earlier is still sitting there completely unanswered. Turns out that whole female fish trick had one more layer to it, because the real prize was hiding inside the males the entire time, a blue venom sac that works basically like concentrated capsaicin. Its toxic gas and stench alone are enough to scare every nearby fish off at least 5 meters, and here's the kicker, even the fish themselves are not fully immune to their own poison. Get hit by it, and there is no walking that off, it is a straight kill order from that point on. And just like that, the whole school clears out, battlefield, empty. Nothing left to do now but loot everything in sight. Bystanders are absolutely losing it watching him clear an entire field solo. Unbelievable, simply unbelievable. One of them even mutters, she wishes she could just latch onto him. Job's done, and the payout backs it up, 12,000 XP and a straight jump to level 11. In his head, he is already crediting the real MVP. All those hundreds of rounds of grinding this exact dungeon gave him back in his past life. This run was basically a speed run by comparison. The mask he is wearing pulled its weight too, genuinely clutch in that fight. He does admit it stings a little. 5 gold coins for a single-use item felt like a waste at the time. But worth it in the end, especially once the actual quest reward drops. 100 grams of oil harvested straight from these fish, a key ingredient for serious healing remedies against rot and infection. Oh right, he almost forgot that part even existed. Flashback to the actual drop moment, and even he was not sure if this reward was legit or if the devs were just trolling everyone, because nobody expects loot this weird. The crowd, meanwhile, is fully obsessed with whatever this glowing item on his face actually is. It even moves. Someone is straight up asking to buy it outright. Name your price. Someone else just sighs and goes, yeah, he's just like that, right before he politely turns down the cash entirely. One bystander straight up calls him an angel over it, and the whole crowd is stunned. Someone would even pay real money for this thing in the first place. Then the actual notification lands. Ding! Superior quest complete. Doug's request. Done! Reward, a superior weapon, the Azure Soul Blade, and this one hits different. It is literally the very first superior weapon he ever pulled back in his past life. Base stats alone are already solid, flat attack, magic damage, and spirit boosts across the board. The real value, though, is hiding in the passive Azure Soul Curse. Every hit stacks energy on the target, land 3 in a row, and it detonates for 250% bonus spirit damage, 0 cooldown attached. This exact blade is the reason he carved out an entire career in the Western Desert last time around, rode it all the way to top mage. Reputation's only sitting at neutral for now, same as last life, but that is still more than enough to move freely through the main city. Cut to the aftermath, and this time something plays out a little differently than he remembers. Doug, fully healed now, is practically overwhelmed, telling him straight up he would have been dead in that bed within the month without this cure. Bro just shrugs it off with a "you're welcome" casual as ever. But Doug is not done, says there is one more thing he owes him, a warning. If he ever crosses paths with someone named Kun Shi, stay away, no exceptions. Picks up right where things left off, and Doug wastes zero time dropping bomb number 1, telling him straight up that Kun Shi is actually his old instructor. Bro's whole reaction is basically, wait, what, he is what now? Doug does not stop there either, flat out calls him out, says no matter how well he thinks he is hiding his class, the truth is obvious, he is a necro hunter. Bro is genuinely stunned by that, because even Kungsi himself never figured it out, so how exactly does Doug know? Turns out Doug has history here. He used to run with the Manticore Knights, an order that answered directly to the king and specialized in hunting exactly his kind. Which means Doug picked up a nasty little skill along the way. Dark Perception, something that automatically pings the presence of any necro hunter nearby and gets sharper the closer they are. Bro asks the obvious follow-up, so you've known this whole time? And Doug drops the actual punchline, no, the poison was blocking his senses. It was only after getting cured that the aura became impossible to miss, so technically his own cure just blew his cover. Which, brutal irony aside, is exactly when Doug finally explains what this aura even is. Quick history lesson. This world's legends only ever count 5 gods, but there used to be a 6th, the Dark Lord, ruler of the undead and by far the most powerful of them all. He handed his power out to loyal followers, turning them into necro hunters carrying out his will, and under his rule those same followers spread plagues that wiped out millions and raised the dead into zombies. So every kingdom eventually turned on him, burned his temples, erased his records, and made it law that any necro hunter found gets executed on sight, permanently forbidden class. Here is where it gets personal though. Doug was the one poisoned by a necro hunter in battle, 10 straight years of suffering with basically zero hope, right up until Bro randomly walked in and fixed it. Bro's own internal reaction says it all. Last life he was just a mage, he had no idea any of this history was even real. No wonder this class gets people killed on sight. Small mercy, he has been playing it completely under the radar this whole time, but even he admits things just got a lot more complicated. The whole plan was simple. Clear his crime record, then use the main city to chase down leads on some emblem, but if he cannot mask this aura, that plan is basically dead on arrival. So he just asks Doug straight up, is there any way to dodge Manticore Knight detection at all? Doug's answer is not exactly comforting, unless Kun Shi personally agrees to help, and the second Kun Shi learns who he actually is, that help turns into a death sentence. Because a necro hunter is the exact reason Kun Shi's wife is dead, which is precisely why Doug is begging him to stay as far from that man as humanly possible. Cut hard to the gravel desert and a title card that just reads 10 minutes earlier because apparently we are catching up on something that already happened. Someone in his party is losing it, yelling, "Are you insane? You are actually going to go looking for Kun Shi, the guy who wants every necro hunter torn apart limb from limb." Bro's answer is calm and grim. At the same time, he says he has no other choice. Carrying this dark aura around unmasked makes him a walking incident everywhere he goes. Better to deal with it now than let it snowball. Then, mid-sentence, he stops cold. What? Because someone just found him, and this someone is very much not happy, cackling about finally catching him after days of searching this dump. Apparently Bro pulled a fast one on this guy before because the follow-up is basically "you tricked me once, not happening twice, I brought over 30 men this time." And the threat lands cold. Let's see how you die. When your head hits the ground, go ahead and scream loud. I love that sound. So yeah, one warning about a knight who wants him dead was apparently not enough drama for one desert, because now there is a small army here for round 2. Picks up right where that ambush left off, and turns out the guy who found him is not doing this quietly. He is running a full-blown live stream of the whole beatdown. Chat, say hello. Tonight's content is apparently watching one random guy get slowly torn apart, 30 against 1, live for the audience. Some viewers actually clock that he looks familiar, and more than a few are openly commenting on how good-looking he is right before he supposedly dies. Priorities. He is not exactly rattled by any of this though, just tells the whole crowd flatly they are nothing but wild dogs, not even worth a warm-up. Then doubles down. Since you are all so eager to hand me your heads, he says, I will gladly take them. That line alone sends the guild leader into a full meltdown. Say that again, and the whole mob charges in on command. Meanwhile, the stream is straight up selling snacks in the front row for the show. This is genuinely somebody's business model right now. Here is the actual power play though. He activates a skill called Sucker Punch Judgment Counterattack, 15 minutes where nothing he does here counts toward his sin points. Which, translated, means the leash is officially off. Legion of Undead, come out for a walk, he calls out, backed by a buff strong enough to kill this crowd 3 times over. Somebody in the guild actually mocks the lightning that follows, calling it mere sparks, barely worth calling thunder. He does not bother arguing, just orders his Thunder Scorpion to poison the whole group, and that is exactly when the enemy commander starts panicking. Shield wall up, mages open fire, rogues and archers scrambling to skirmish. Line up, reinforce, the orders keep flying as they try to hold any kind of formation. Someone is already screaming mid-fight, first real casualty of the night. Fire the arrows, someone yells, throwing everything they have got at him. The mob still is not taking this seriously though, cracking jokes that summons like his are basically nothing for a squad their level. One guy even walks off, too bored to bother. Somebody straight up opens a betting pool on how many minutes this kid lasts. That is how confident this crowd is. He just responds with, so what? If you can summon the undead, even the big one from last time would get ground into rotten meat under our numbers, you die today. He does not even argue back, he just smiles. And that smile alone is apparently the scariest thing anyone in this fight has seen all night. Because 2 seconds later, it all goes sideways, fast. Damn it, what is happening? Someone screams, and the confident mockery turns into actual panic. One hit is genuinely all it takes to drop somebody outright. Retreat, quickly, someone finally orders. Way too late for that advice to matter now. Then it gets worse. An entire second wave erupts straight up out of the ground, a coordinated ambush nobody in that mob saw coming. And here's the best part. The same guy who was mocking these summons as a joke a minute ago gets dragged right back into the fight and told to come get beaten properly this time. Somebody else gets it even worse, asked flat out who exactly was bragging about tearing him to pieces, because the ground is currently covered in pieces and none of them are his. Fight is still not fully done though, because now it is a scramble just to patch people up. Watch it, those wounds are poisoned, purify before anyone even thinks about healing. Picks up mid-slaughter, and one of them is stuck yelling, how did you even know? Because apparently he called out their hiding spot before they even tried it. His answer is basically, I'm not stupid enough to think sand actually hides anyone cold. The crowd watching is losing it too, muttering, he's just insanely strong, while their own front line is already wiped out. Somebody screams for everyone to run, right as the guild leader loses it completely, calling his own men useless trash. He decides to handle it personally, screaming, I'll kill you myself, and gets an instant almost bored, then give it a try back. The guy does not even get to process what just hit him. What is this? Is all he manages. 1/ lands clean, then it is just a countdown. 3, 2, 1, and that is the whole fight, over before it really started. Somebody actually slaps a caption on this, moment after the fact, guy talks trash, the big boss pops him, and honestly, that sums up the entire encounter perfectly. The rest of the guild is not doing much better. Someone screaming for help, someone else genuinely wondering if they are hallucinating. It has only been a few days since they last crossed paths with him, but standing there now, he might as well have crawled straight out of hell. One guy is outright begging, don't kill me, please, no fight left in him at all. His response is ice cold, now it is your turn to taste despair, and just like that, it is over. Small aside before we move on, oh, right, almost forgot something. Because this whole fight was not just happening in a vacuum, cut straight to a high-rise luxury apartment somewhere on a place called Blue Star, and people are watching this live. They are furious. The stream cut out right at the good part, demanding to know who this mystery big shot even is. Somebody claims bragging rights instantly. I know him. He's the one who took down the direwolf. I was there. Someone else is already trying to arrange a meetup, apparently a normal reaction to watching a guy solo 30 people. And then the actual headline drops. The Mercenary Guild just issued him an S-Class invitation. Somewhere in all that noise, one voice finally says the name out loud. Lin Yuan! Cut back into the game itself, this time to Blackson Town, and there is a very different vibe waiting for him here. Some half-drunk local slurs out, Hick, it's you again, immediately followed by no more teaching, like this is a conversation he has had before and hated. He mumbles something about having just enough coin for drinks today and being way too lazy to get up, and yet somehow still manages, I want to talk to you. Whatever this guy actually is, he is clearly not just some random drunk, because the next thing that happens is a straight-up system prompt, disable class hiding. And just like that, his full profile is laid bare for anyone looking. Player, Lin Yuan, level 11, class Necro Hunter, forbidden, talents. Dark Summoning and something called Netherworld Gate still sitting at only 35%. The drunk guy's whole demeanor flips the second he sees it. You're a Necro Hunter? Picks up right after that shocked reveal, and instead of calming down, the drunk guy loses it completely, snarling, Soul Reaper, how dare you show your face in front of me again. Bro does not even argue the label, just closes the distance so fast the guy cannot process what happened. What is this speed is all he gets out. With him fully pinned now, Bro's response is basically, "Now we can talk calmly, can't we?" A wild thing to say to someone you just speed ran into submission. The old guy demands to know what he actually wants. Bro's answer is oddly generous. "Since you are so insistent on making a scene, consider this information a way of paying you back." Cue the actual legend. Back when the Dark Lord's arrogance was at its peak, and entire worlds were sinking into despair, a Soul Reaper once clashed with a man named Quincy and his wife, both fighting to uphold justice. After a brutal fight, the Soul Reaper died, but Quincy's wife, trying to save her gravely wounded husband, got hit by the curse of the undead instead. Her soul got tainted by that same darkness, turning her into a mindless beast with zero memory left, permanently locked out of any kind of salvation. The only way to actually save her was for Quincy to destroy her cursed soul with his own two hands. After that day, he could not even hold a sword steady anymore, and everyone assumed he would just drink himself into oblivion for the rest of his life. Instead, one day, he put out a quest. Anyone on the side of justice who could save his wife gets every treasure he has ever collected. And specifically for Soul Reapers, the prize gets even weirder. The actual method to unlock Dark Perception, ripped straight from the corpse of the Soul Reaper who started this whole mess. The real plan was never just a rescue mission either. It doubled as bait. Revenge on every remaining Soul Reaper out there through their own greed. 158 people have taken this quest so far. 0 of them have come back. So naturally, Bro just asks him straight up, "So, what exactly is your quest?" The old man actually lights up a little, admits he has been low-key annoyed. Nobody has stepped up in a while to keep his beloved wife company in her little game. Bro's answer is instant yes, same energy as every other suicidal quest he has accepted this arc. Old man wishes him good luck, says who knows, maybe he actually pulls it off. One small catch, that only counts if his corpse can crawl back in one piece. Location, north of Black Sand Town, a place called the Mourner's Sanctum. Cut to him, already prepping for it, night vision potion used, heading straight in. Turns out the Sanctum spans 5 whole floors. Every single NPC who has ever died in Black Sand Town is buried down there. On top of that, undead like zombies, skeletons, and ghosts wander the place at random. Difficulty climbs with every floor down. Floor 1 is nothing but low-level zombies, 1 through 3. Floor 2 steps it up to skeletons, level 4 through 6. Floor 3 brings ghosts into the mix, level 7 through 9. And floor 4 is ghouls, straight up level 10. His response to all of that, 158 dead bodies deep into this quest, casually announcing he is just going to clear the first 4 floors in one single push. Picks up right where he left off, straight into the grind, and it does not take long before he catches wind of something nearby. First real target of the run shows up fast, an elite ghoul, level 10, 2000 HP, corrosive bite, plus a nasty set of wall and hanging tricks in its kit. Skills start flying immediately. Wall sprint, hanging rip, straight into a full combo before the thing even gets a turn. It roars back, tries to answer with something called Earth-Shattering Pincer. Does not matter, 1/ later, and almost missed you is literally the last thing it hears. Ding, level 12, and that quest clock has barely even started ticking. He does drop one honest complaint though. His corpse manipulation trick can revive and control regular zombies just fine, but it is completely useless on actual undead monsters, which kind of defeats the point on a floor full of them. Before that thought even finishes, what, damn it, something yanks him straight out of wherever he was. He clocks it fast. Have I just been moved to a whole new area? Waiting there is a voice way too pleased to see him. Hehehe. You're finally here. I've been expecting you. Fresh flesh and blood. Boss card drops immediately. Vengeful Wraith, Lord Tier, level 18, 6000 HP, 800 attack, 200 defense, and a skill list that includes something called Bloom of the Dead. He clocks exactly where he landed too, so this is the 5th floor. The Wraith is not here for small talk. I'll tear you to pieces, it screams. It follows through immediately, casting Bloom of the Dead straight at him. For a second even he pauses on it, Corrosive Venom, an attack of this level. Then the line that ends the fight cold, useless against me, and nobody watching has any idea yet just how literally he means it. Bridge right into it, the Wraith screams and unloads Banshee's wail, and for a second it almost reads as a straightforward area attack. Except it is not, it is a summon, and that distinction is about to make this fight a lot worse. Because the things rising out of the ground are not random monsters, they are the actual buried dead of Black Sand Town. And not just the townspeople either. Every single one of the 158 people who failed this exact quest before him is apparently down here too. So yeah, damn it, you want to resurrect literally all of them is a completely fair reaction. There are too many of them, somebody screams, and honestly, valid. Even Bro admits he did not see this coming. He genuinely did not expect this boss to be able to raise that entire pile of bones at once. He starts barking orders immediately. Everybody out, block the gates, do not let that horde through. His own plan is simple and a little cold. Throw the Undead Legion out as cannon fodder to buy time while he handles the real threat. Bloodlust state activated, and just like that, his whole army gets meaner. Kobold leader, Crystal Thunder Scorpion, everybody's summoned and thrown straight into the line. Skills start flying both directions. Earthrending Claw answered by Heavy Strike, a full exchange. Somewhere in the middle of it, useful intel actually surfaces. Wandering spirits are ghost type, meaning their bodies phase through buildings and shrug off half of any physical hit. But that same ghost biology cuts both ways. Magic damage against them lands for double. Which is exactly why he activates the Azure Soul Curse seal right then, turning his own blade into the actual answer to this fight. The Wraith reacts fast though. Its speed suddenly spikes, clearly not planning to make this easy. And the clock is genuinely running out. Because his line of summons could get overrun by that corpse horde any second, this fight has to end now. Before he can burst it down though, he needs to lock its movement first. Paralysis Ring, equipped, silver grade, health and mana boosts, extra agility and spirit, and one very useful passive attached. Paralysis, Toxin, a 5% chance on hit to lock the target down for 3 full seconds. Toxin activated, and now it is a race to see if that tiny percentage actually lands before his whole line collapses. Bridge into it, Paralysis actually lands, and immediately somebody yells, "It is not over yet," because a stun window like that does not go to waste. He clocks it instantly too, pretty lucky, exactly as he figured. Getting tagged by the Azure Soul Curse already slowed this thing down. He follows it up with Vicious Wolf's Howl, a straight stun stacked right on top of the slow. 5 seconds of lockdown, that is genuinely all he needs. How many of my attacks can you actually take, he asks, right before the damage numbers start flooding in, 50, 50, 60, 60, 60, back to back. Cornered, the Wraith goes straight for the nuclear option, Corpse Explosion. This is not just some flashy finisher either, it is trying to detonate every NPC zombie in the room and collapse the whole tomb chamber on top of everyone. His own zombie legion pays the price for it too, down to just 3 survivors, genuinely heavy losses. Does not matter though, now it is time to finish you, he says, and means it. Disappear. One word, and the Wraith is already screaming, "No!" on the way down. HP crashes through near-death territory fast, 300, 200, 100, 30. And then, congratulations, Vengeful Wraith down, 800 ESP banked. He almost cannot believe it landed that clean. Is it over? He asks, watching the last of it disperse into nothing. Loot check comes back light though, 1 single item, the Ring of the Beloved, a quest item he cannot even sell or drop. Turns out this ring has actual weight to it, an engagement ring Kungxi once gave his wife, the literal symbol of everything they had. He is genuinely a little thrown by it. That is the only reward from a boss this brutal. Just a ring? Then something else catches his eye. Oh, what is this? Turns out that mystery item was not the only surprise, because it comes with intel too. The Corpse Explosion the Wraith used is an actual exclusive skill only Necrohunters can learn. The skill book gets auto-recorded straight into his memory. The second he picks it up, 0 extra steps needed. He even clocks how strong it is. Sure, it eats through his zombie stock, but the attack power and range on it are genuinely impressive, a nice surprise nobody saw coming. Meanwhile, back with Kunshi, he is staring at that ring in total disbelief. This is the actual engagement ring he gave her. Turns out a sealed Wraith carries 0 memories. It only regains them and drops whatever it cherished most in life, once it is finally freed. Which means this whole fight was never just a random boss kill. It was Kungxi's wife. Kungxi asks quietly, when she passed, she was not in so much pain anymore, was she? Bro just says yes. That's wonderful, Kungxi says, and you can feel exactly how much weight comes off him in that one line. He never imagined the exact class he hated. Most would be the one to finally give him closure, and he means every word when he says he will never forget this kindness. Time to actually pay up, he says, because this whole arc was building toward a reward. Crown of Darkness, Special Helmet, Effect 1, makes his crime points completely invisible while warned. Effect 2 hides his dark aura entirely, unreadable to anyone trying to sense it. He clocks exactly what this solves, no extra stats needed. This single item just neutralizes the entire Manticore Knight problem. He can finally move through the main city with 0 restrictions. Equip confirmed. One quiet thought slips through though, is he actually any closer to the truth he has been chasing this whole time? Cut to Sanwind City, and he is officially back in the main hub. Quick rundown, countless guilds operate here, but only 10 actually count as major players. He is already scanning that list with one specific question in mind. Could that guy from before be hiding inside one of them? Reality check though, right now he is just another newbie in this city. Cracking into any of these big guilds is not happening overnight. so he needs an actual opening first. That is exactly when someone screams his name out of nowhere. God Yuan, it's really you, some random guy shouts, absolutely losing his mind. Bro barely reacts before this guy is already gushing, ouch, God Yuan, you remember me? He is admittedly confused. How does a total stranger even know his name? Turns out the guy spotted him from that infamous livestream, then apparently spent forever digging through tens of thousands of comments just trying to find a lead on who he actually was. And then casually drops that he spent 2 million yuan upgrading a corporation's facial recognition system just to confirm it was actually him. Bro is legitimately floored. 2 million just to find me? The guy just shrugs it off. Is that even a lot? His company drops way more than that on regular system testing. The name lands hard though, the Han Corporation, an actual 100 billion yuan giant that basically owns the global tech market. And now, bro is doing the math. A guy with that kind of backing tracked him down this fast. What else does he actually know? The thought that follows is genuinely cold. Should he just finish him off right here? So picking up right where we left off, some random hunter is still out here begging our guy to join an S-rank hunt in Juelin Cavern, chasing a nest guarded by a Naga that corrodes iron just by existing. Bro shuts him down instantly, basically done arguing with the guy, and honestly fair, since soloing an entire elite guild is apparently just a Tuesday for this dude. The real reason the hunter's sweating? Another guild is scouting talent on this exact hunt, and he is praying a good showing gets him picked up. That recruitment pitch does not land either, so our guy just shrugs and decides he will go wreck the nest solo instead. The hunter locks in the details anyway, 8 AM tomorrow, and the moment our guy actually agrees to show up, his whole face lights up like he just won the lottery. Then the real twist drops. He ditches the alias completely and tells him straight up, forget God Yuan, the name is Lin Yuan. Cut to hunt day, they are closing in on the boss's territory, and the first thing crawling out to greet them is a vulture thief zombie, level 12, armed with a curved blade toss and some nasty necro body trick. The whole nest wakes up hissing and croaking like a bad horror movie, and the second someone yells go, it is instant chaos. Lin Yuan fires off the curved blade toss and starts clearing chieftains in bulk, 3 down, then 6 more gone, practically in the same breath, not even breaking a sweat. 10 kills in and the whole mob just vanishes, which is never a good sign, because that is exactly when the actual Vulture Thief Lord shows up, level 19, 6000 HP, and opens immediately with a backstab. Then the whole battlefield goes up in one massive toxic green corpse explosion, and yeah, this hunt just stopped being a warm-up. So picking up straight from that corpse explosion, the scream ripping through the smoke belongs to the Vulture Lord. Because this fight is already over, he just does not know it yet. Our guy throws on the shadow gloves and just goes, take this, no monologue, no build-up, straight to business. One more hit and it is over, go to hell lands clean, and the Vulture Lord drops for good. Kill confirmed, and the level up notification pops immediately, our guy jumping straight to level 13. First reward is Curse of Darkness hitting gold rank, a skill that either drains a chunk of an enemy's health or tops off one of his own undead. Second reward answers last chapter's question outright, Corpse Explosion Art, the exact skill that just turned that boss into a green fireworks show. A skill scroll prompt pops up asking if he wants to upgrade, and one gotcha lucky yes later he is not just boosting Curse of Darkness to level 3, he is leveling up Corpse Explosion Art in the same move. And a quick reminder for anyone tuning in late, this guy is not soloing with a sword, he is quietly building an entire undead army, and he decides 130 corpses on payroll is plenty for now. The stat sheet updates too, because reviving the Vulture Lord as undead did not just bring him back, it handed him a brand new deadly poison hand attack he never had in life. That lines up with what happened last time he revived the giant Death Wolf, and it came back swinging a move called Wraith's Fury, so reviving a Lord tier monster seems to always come with a bonus skill attached, and our guy is very much taking notes. No time to nerd out further though, the actual hunting campaign kicks off in 2 hours, so it is time to move out. Cue the tone Whiplash, because the next thing we cut to is a teammate rolling up looking like a discount knight statue. Turns out that is Han Qing, dropping 50 gold coins on a custom super armor and swearing up and down he will not be a burden today, looking like a knockoff Iron Man suit that skipped the HUD. Problem is, the thing is so bulky he genuinely cannot see the road in front of him. And right on cue he goes down screaming for Yuan to save him. Someone rushes over to check on him, and standing right behind that rescue is a total stranger whose gear alone screams Black Tree Guild leadership. So yeah, this walking tin can just got noticed by exactly the wrong person. So remember that mystery guy who showed up right as Han Qing hit the ground last chapter? Turns out that is exactly who they now have to answer to, and this kid can apparently smile and radiate murder energy at the same time. One of the escorts straight up tells Han Qing to lose the stupid gear already, then clocks our guy giving him a flat unreadable stare and immediately gets annoyed about it. They ask which one of them is Han Qing, and the second they clock the shiny gold outfit they are already losing it, laughing. calling it a straight-up cosplay show. Han Qing tries to be friendly and even starts introducing our guy, and gets cut off instantly because apparently this guild does not do names for newbies. They do clarify one thing though, they only agree to a +1 because their captain is unusually generous, not because anyone here actually cares. The lecture continues. Basically, do not get comfortable just because the captain is nice, be grateful for the opportunity, and the newbies fall in line fast. Somebody in the back is quietly panicking about whether their gear will even hold up mid-raid, which, fair, most of this crowd looks like they just walked out of the tutorial. Roll call finishes, the captain hypes everyone up, claiming even the Grim Reaper reroutes around the Black Tree Guild, and somebody is yelling at our guy to hurry up because apparently there are luminous slime monsters waiting inside. Cut to the actual cave, and they hit a fork in the road without running into a single Iron Eater lizard yet, which tracks since the species hides all day and only comes out at night. So the captain, Zhao Kui, gets asked the obvious question. Which fork do they take? His answer? Split up, which naturally sends the newer hunters straight into panic mode about running into a level 16 elite alone. Turns out there's nothing to panic about, because Zhao Kui's team already scouted the entire route that morning while everyone else was still getting yelled at during roll call. The middle path reeks of Iron Eater lizard pheromones, high risk of a surprise attack, while the other two paths are basically a stroll. So here's the move. His own guild eats the risk and takes the dangerous middle path for the good loot, while everyone else gets funneled down the safe side paths, and the crowd is eating this plan up. Naturally, nobody wants to actually team up with the guy in the questionable gold armor. And our guy is not doing much better either, written off as some stone-faced weirdo hiding his level out of pure embarrassment, though somebody does admit he is kind of handsome for it. So that settles it. The two least popular guys in the cave get paired up together, and even the captain jokes he cannot exactly force anyone to like them. Somewhere behind them, a guild member mutters two ignorant fools under his breath, and honestly, you would think by now people would stop underestimating the guy nobody can read. Han Qing is the first to notice something is wrong. The temperature is dropping way too fast, and it feels like they are being watched. Yuan barely even reacts, just goes, "Oh, you finally noticed," because apparently he clocked it a while ago. Han Qing brings up Captain Zhao's hole. This path is safe speech, and Yuan just flatly points out the obvious. An S-rank hunt with a pile of newbies dragged along only makes sense if he is using them as human scouts. Naturally, Han Qing asks why not just expose the guy right then, and Yuan's answer is ice cold, because he wanted to see exactly how many interesting things that little scam would drag out into the open. Cue the first thing it drags out, an iron corroding iguana, level 16 elite, packing a tail sweep and defense built like an actual fortress. Meanwhile, Captain Zhao's crew is having the time of their lives, straight up bragging that the newbies drawing monster attention and splitting their numbers makes this whole raid twice as easy. Half the effort for double the reward, his exact words, while the iguana they are laughing about is still very much alive and telling them to come see what it is made of. Back with Yuan though, that whole plan is about to get flipped like an Uno reverse card because he lets the zombie horde off the leash. Iron tail sweep, curved blade toss, stealth, backstab, his undead just chain every skill they have while somebody nearby can only ask, when exactly did this guy tame this many zombie monsters? Kill count lands at 55 elite iguanas, done, over, ridiculous efficiency, and Han Qing is standing there watching like he just saw a highlight reel. He even compares it to some fight back in the muddy Gobi, calling this even more insane, and Lin Yuan just reminds him, "Told you I was making preparations." One of the other hunters just quietly admits they wish they could be even a fraction this amazing someday. Then somewhere off to the side the ground actually starts shaking, and someone decides to go check it out rather than bother a very busy Lin Yuan with every little thing. The tremors just stop, no explanation, no follow-up, nothing, and that silence might be the most unsettling part of this whole chapter. So that quiet stop from last chapter? Yeah, that was not nothing, because the second the ground actually cracks open somebody is already screaming, "What the hell is that thing?" One of Captain Zhao's guys gets caught out in the open, and it is instantly a scream for help he does not get, just "I'm done for" and nothing else. Whatever just clawed its way out is not even bothering to be scary about it, basically calling him a bug for daring to fight back. Han Qing is coughing, panicking, trying to get everyone moving before this thing fully surfaces, and then, yeah, it is already too late. The mission briefing swore this cave only had an elite class, Iron-Eating Iguana, cute, because what just walked out is the actual boss version, level 20, 6300 HP, and it has final boss music written all over it. Han Qing straight up blames himself for dragging Yuan into this and offers to hold the line so he can retreat. Lin Yuan's response to being handed an apocalypse-level lizard? This is not a terrifying monster, it is prey. The boss is not amused, fires back some, then let's see, "I'll finish you energy," and immediately swings with Iron Tail Sweep. Our guy is not even flinching, he is already calling in backup, sending Eagle Chief in with the scythe throw. That cracks the boss wide open, and Yuan follows through with something brand new, Azure Spirit Seal. Except the payoff is a little underwhelming. Everyone's squinting like, wait, did that only cause minor burns? Because the boss is not done, it winds up Toxic Sand Breath, a poison cloud that chips 3 to 10% of your max health every single second for 5 straight seconds. Han Qing sees it coming before anyone else and screams the one warning that actually matters, Yuan, watch out. So that Toxic Sand Breath actually connects, and instead of panicking about it, Yuan calls it trickier than he expected, which for this guy apparently just means more fun. Then he does the thing everyone loves at this point, yells for backup, and the Vulture Lord, yes, that same Vulture Lord from a few chapters back, comes crawling out of his undead roster. The onlookers are losing it, wondering if this is one of God Yuan's new subordinates, and honestly, yeah, it kind of is. The boss is not impressed though. It slams up Incorruptible Fortress, 150% defense boost for 10 straight seconds. Then it dodges something with reflexes so clean somebody straight up asks if this thing has eyes on the back of its head. Turns out it basically does. Lizards barely register anything holding still, but their side vision, hearing, and even heat sensing pick up on the smallest twitch, so the second you move, it knows exactly where you are. So the plan writes itself. Bait it, keep it locked on one loud, obvious target, and walk it straight into a trap, calculating the whole fight out like Batman with prep time. Out loud though, it just sounds like trash talk. Let's see who's tougher, your scales or my fireballs, and the boss roars right back, fully baited. Which is exactly the point, because those fireballs were never actually meant to do damage. Han Qing is panicking for real now. The boss's defense is too strong, the fireballs are not scratching it, screaming that Yuan is being way too reckless. Then he actually looks at where Yuan is running, and it is straight toward a massive pile of zombies, and now nobody has any idea what happens next. Turns out that pile of zombies was never just cover, it is the trap, and the second the boss gets close, somebody yells, "Now's the chance." The boss barrels in without even breaking, starts chowing down on what it thinks is an easy meal, and gets an explosive feast instead. Corpse explosion. Art goes off point blank, and just like that, the boss's supposedly impenetrable fortress armor cracks wide open. That is exactly the opening the Vulture Lord needs, flanking hard from the left, because it turns out this thing genuinely cannot track both sides at once. One clean strike later, and it is a critical hit, sending the whole boss straight to hell, and our guy jumps up to level 14 off the kill alone. 5 minutes and 1 full loot screen later, Dark Curse levels up to Superior Rank 3, 1 skill scroll away from Rank 4. Yeah, corpse explosion. Art burned through a good chunk of his zombie army to pull this off, but for a kill this big, worth every single one. And in classic this guy fashion, he is not mourning the loss for a second. He has already decided the dead boss is getting revived as his new meat shield. Han Qing is staring at the loot pile like he has never seen this much treasure in his life, ready to start counting immediately. Our guy is not rushing though, there are still a few rats left to clean up, and by rats, he means whatever is left standing that still thinks it is a threat. Meanwhile, over with Captain Zhao's crew, they are riding a whole different high, hyping up their captain like he just personally made a Lord-class monster kneel. Then somebody points out, the fighting on the other two paths sounds like it is winding down, which means, in their heads, free loot just sitting there for the taking. So off they go to collect the bodies, already treating somebody else's hard-won kills like their own payday. Except the second they show up, it is not loot waiting for them, it is a full-blown ambush, and now they are the ones screaming who's there. Turns out the ambush is just Yuan and Han Qing, very much alive and completely unbothered, dryly pointing out they just came to collect the corpses themselves. Zhao's crew is stunned, insisting these two were supposed to get devoured whole by that entire swarm of iron-eating iguanas. Yuan does not let that slide either, straight up calling out the so-called Honorable Black Tree Guild for using its own players as bait to clear a dungeon. The response somehow makes it worse. Being a stepping stone for the guild's glory is apparently supposed to be an honor for scum like them. Internally though, Zhao is scrambling, realizing the cave they got sent into must have been light on monsters, which means some other unlucky group probably ate the difference. Watching Yuan just stand there calm is apparently unbearable, and Zhao decides the easiest fix is getting rid of him for good. Out loud it comes out as one big threat, your lucky streak ends right here. His guys move in telling them to back off, mocking the idea that just two of them could possibly take on this whole crew alone. One of them clocks something Yuan just did and laughs it off as some kind of baby's trick. Bad read, because seconds later somebody is panicking, demanding to know where he is hiding, getting called a fool for ever thinking Yuan was not watching the whole time. Zhao just keeps monologuing through it, something about how anyone who survives on luck has to sleep with one eye open. Topping it off with the full villain speech, worthless lives like theirs can end at any moment. That is exactly when Han Qing finally steps in, telling Yuan to leave this rookie to him, since apparently that whole fight so far was just Yuan's warm-up. No monologuing from him either, straight to business. Get on the ground and accept your death, he says, like he genuinely does not have time for this. That is when it clicks for the enemy. Wait, are not you the third team leader of the Black Tree Guild? Except that is not even it, because the more they look at him, the clearer it gets. This guy's actual guild is ranked in the top 10 of the entire capital. Zhao takes one real hit and immediately regrets ever underestimating them. He tries to rally what is left of his crew to gang up together, screaming for everyone to attack at once. It does not matter though, because in the end, rabble is rabble, and not one of them lands a single hit worth mentioning. They get wiped out in seconds flat, no real fight left in any of them. Zhao starts begging, warning that killing him will bring the entire Black Tree Guild down on them. Han Qing, watching from the side, is honestly just relieved at this point, teasing that, of course, Yuan was never actually in danger. Yuan is not interested in threats though. He calmly points out that dying and losing his gear and level would get Zhao's own guild coming after him too. Faced with that math, Zhao folds instantly, admitting defeat and asking what it will actually take to be left alone. The demand is simple. Hand over a full list of the guild's top players, their classes, their levels, every attribute. Because, back in his past life, one specific player known only as the First Follower used skills nobody had ever seen, some rare hidden class whose real identity was never uncovered until it was already way too late, and Yuan is not about to let that happen twice. Zhao has no idea why any of this matters, but at this point, he is in no position to ask questions. He hands over the whole roster, and none of it lines up. Not one attribute matches the First Follower. They do let him go, though not before making it clear he still owes every innocent player he hurt an actual explanation. Then comes the fun part, loot. A silver tier warhammer with a stored power burst, a bronze sword, a bronze robe, and a treasure chest these idiots never even bothered opening. Han Qing offers to let Lin Yuan pick first, and when nothing catches his eye, just tells him to take it all. He refuses to take it for free though, insists on paying for it properly, and 54 gold coins. Later, it is officially his. All silver tier in the end. Which tracks, gold tier gear is genuinely rare to come by in this version of the game. Before they split up, Han Qing brings up something more serious. The Black Tree Guild apparently has a reputation for taking in-game losses out on people in real life. He even offers to send bodyguards, and Yuan just brushes the whole thing off, calling them nothing but disgusting insects he already knows exactly how to handle. Then the whole apocalyptic power fantasy just stops cold, because somewhere off screen somebody is calling Yuan in for dinner, and yeah, he is coming. So remember the dinner call from last chapter? Turns out home life is its own kind of chaos because Dad is holding up a gaming helmet asking if it is broken, completely unaware he is holding the exact rig Yuan needs for a mortal world. Mom found it while cleaning his sister Lin Tan's room, and just like that, dinner turns into a full interrogation about who actually bought it. In his head though, Yuan is somewhere else entirely, quietly noting that this is right around when Lin Tan awakened her hidden class last time around. Dad, completely oblivious to any of that, just tells them both to stop standing around and eat. Mom cannot resist teasing him a little, pointing out he spent the whole afternoon fumbling with a helmet he could not even turn on, all just trying to find some way to bond. Yuan's actual plan is way bigger than bonding though. Get his parents into the game too so he can funnel resources their way, giving them some way to protect themselves once the real apocalypse hits. That thought gets cut off fast, because somebody finally asks the real question, is Lin Tan even home yet? It is Friday, she is probably just out with friends, no big deal, except the call goes straight to an unavailable number, and that silence does not sit right with him at all. So Yuan makes an excuse about the shops closing and heads out mid-dinner while his parents just chalk it up to two siblings who have quietly drifted apart needing a little space to reconnect. He finds her fast, and whatever she is caught up in, it is clearly not just hanging out with friends. She snaps at him immediately. This has nothing to do with you, do not call the police, do not tell Mom and Dad, understand? In his past life, this is exactly where it all started. Lin Tan awakening a hidden class early into a mortal world, then getting saddled with responsibilities that were never supposed to be hers, all because of one mysterious group. The Order. Founded by 9 so-called Chosen Ones, and only Chosen Ones ever get let in. Somewhere inside it there is a prophet, someone who can sense Chosen Ones out in the real world and send people to personally recruit them. By the time anyone noticed, that organization basically ran the game uncontested, and its reach into the real world just kept growing right alongside it. They are not even pure villains either. They have quietly done real good in the world too, which somehow makes the whole thing creepier. Last time, once Lin Tan joined, she started running dangerous missions, and never told the family a single thing about any of it. So this time, he is hoping it is not them. But if it is, he already knows one thing for certain, she is not walking into this blind again. Just as he thought, Lin Tan already found them, but Yuan is too far out to catch a word of it, and alerting anyone this early is not an option. He has not run invisibility in a while either, so there is an actual rusty moment where he has to focus just to pull it off clean. Level 3, 5 minutes of cover. That should be exactly enough time to get close and actually hear something. What he catches is the recruiter laying it all out for Lin Tan. Straight, believe it or not, is on her. But joining is not really about the organization. It is about being ready when disaster hits in 3 years. Step forward for this world, he tells her, and honestly, his whole energy is intense enough that even his own people tell him to dial it back before he scares her off. Except, Yuan's cover does not hold. Somebody pulls a dispel straight off their ring gear and just erases his invisibility outright. Lucky for him, there is a 3-second delay built into the dispel, and in the most anticlimactic timing possible, somebody in the room is just asking if the boss has any herbal tea going. Invisibility drops for real this time, and the recruiter wraps it up, telling Lin Tan a person with real justice in their heart could not just stand by while disaster comes, hands her a number, and calls her little beauty on the way out. The second they are actually gone, Lin Tan is just left standing there, quietly asking herself, wait, they're gone? Then it hits her. Something about all of this is definitely not right. Once they're gone though, we cut over to the Order guys themselves, and one of them is already second-guessing whether he's getting paranoid over nothing. His buddy tells him to relax, there is nothing suspicious going on, then immediately gets curious whether this girl is actually going to join up. According to their seer's prophecy, sooner or later she will, and apparently that prophecy has never once been wrong. One of them is way less focused on the apocalypse though, mostly just wondering which girl he is destined to fall in love with. His friend shuts that down instantly. Survive the actual catastrophe first, then they can talk romance. Somebody watching all this quietly realizes the same thing. This group is stronger than expected, and if a certain forbidden ability slips out in front of them, there will be nowhere left in a mortal world to hide. So it is time to be careful, and time to move. Cut back to real life, and Yuan runs straight into his mom out shopping, and the first thing out of his mouth is basically, "Why are you here?" She is just picking up a few things, and immediately asks if he has eaten yet, telling him not to let her tire herself out over dinner since he already grabbed food. In her head, though she cannot help but worry, this kid can barely take care of himself, so how is he supposed to look out for anyone else? They head home together, and the second they walk in, Mom is fussing over food again, offering to heat something up for absolutely everyone in the house. Later, alone with her own thoughts, she just sighs. Ever since she started playing that game, all sorts of strange, wonderful things keep happening to her family. That thought drags Yuan straight back into a memory, one where a swarm of long-bladed mantises has him and Lin Tan cornered while he yells at her to run and holds them off alone. She tries to argue, and he shuts it down instantly. He is the front line, and a frontline fighter does not get to abandon the people behind him. Then right in the middle of that chaos, a hidden ability activates for the very first time. Something powerful is waking up in the middle of a fight they were already losing, and it is not holding back. Whoever is on the other end of it is left gasping for air, completely spent. And the name that comes out of it lands like its own title card, Sword of Dawn. So right after that flashback names the hidden power Sword of Dawn, we're back in the present, with Bro spiraling about whether any of this is actually enough to protect the people he cares about. Bottom line in his head, he needs to get stronger fast, which means going all in on the game instead of easing up. Cut to a real estate office, where some agent is side-eyeing a kid, asking about high-security villas like he wandered in from the wrong side of the mall. Worth remembering, thanks to a life he's already lived once, this guy's tournament winnings and game income are already stacked way past anything this office is expecting. He doesn't even argue, just flashes an elite VIP card meant for someone sitting on a smog-sized pile of cash, and the agent's whole attitude does a complete 180. Moving day, and the villa's got an actual smart home voice greeting him like literal royalty. Dude skipped several tax brackets on the walk-in. The family walks in, and it's instant chaos, a private pool, a bed the size of a small country. Mom's convinced this is straight off TV. She spirals into mortgage math almost immediately, wondering out loud if they should just move back to the old place. And this is the one line all chapter that earns the real name. Lin Yuan cuts her off, no mortgage, paid in full with tournament prize money and game income. Live here worry-free. He'll be right next door, still grinding non-stop, and Dad's fully entered his My Son, the Legend era. Practical bonus, living that close means the villa's security is basically covered by him personally now. Next on his list, ease Mom and Dad into the game itself, while keeping one eye out for any sign the Order organization is circling back. Cut straight to the game, and somebody's clearly been hunting for him a while. Finally, you showed up. It's the captain of the Blackwood Guild, the exact guy our summoner already flattened once before. His crew immediately starts talking big, mocking him for not acting so tough now that he's standing right there. Then the captain himself steps up screaming that disrespecting Master Kui is a death sentence, and the whole scene suddenly plays like final boss music just kicked in. Bro just casts invisibility and ends the entire confrontation with one clean, One Punch Man style hit before anyone even registers he moved. Too Slow doesn't begin to cover it. Everyone left standing is just stunned silence, huh? Straight up panic after that, somebody's screaming about whether this guy is even human anymore, and honestly, at this point, that's a fair question. One more tough guy steps up to threaten him and instantly eats the exact same beatdown, disrespect flipped right back like an Uno reverse card. He's already muttering about these guild leeches being never-ending, and honestly, fair. The last guy standing folds completely, begging him to stop, swearing he's still useful somehow. Turns out he's sitting on info about a hidden mission nobody else even knows exists, and Lin Yuan wants it. So, some guild elder is walking him through the next move, track down a blacksmith named Poker in the main city, and grind ore delivery quests for him. Keep at it long enough, and honestly, once his standing with the guy is high enough, he unlocks a real shot at genuinely superior gear. Worth remembering, in his last time through this exact grind, somebody scored top-tier gear stupidly fast, and the rumor traced it back to one nothing NPC nobody ever paid attention to. So maybe, just maybe, this random lead is actually the real deal, right? The whole scene's dim and moody, basically total Gotham back alley energy at this particular tavern. Then, out of nowhere, a real threat drops. Somebody warning him they've got plenty of ways to handle him both online and offline. And if he lays one finger on their family, that alone decides his fate. Lin Yuan doesn't hesitate for a second, I understand. Cut to the blacksmith shop, and the ask alone sounds like a no-shot proposition. 100 portions of ore. The guy nearly laughs him straight out of the building. He even roasts him for it, says someone this clean cut has zero business mining, but promises a free weapon if he actually delivers. Turns out he wasn't bluffing either. Deal's real, so next stop, actual mining. That's when some random drunk tavern regular rolls up, offering to buy him a drink out of absolutely nowhere. He shuts it down flat, doesn't know her, hands off, and the audacity, she flips from flirty to threatening to gouge his eyes out in the same breath. Pure, chaotic NPC energy, honestly, thirsty to homicidal faster than a loading screen. He bails on the drink, she stumbles after him whining not to walk so fast, then somehow starts dancing at him anyway, still calling him handsome the entire time. Somebody just sighs, "What a headache!" right before she face plants and passes out cold. Cut to Viper Mine, and here's the real trick behind this whole ore grind. He's feeding kobold zombies straight out of his netherworld gate to do the actual digging. Outsourcing manual labor to the literal undead, brutally efficient, and honestly, OSHA does not have jurisdiction down here. A furious mole shows up to contest that, complete with its own floating stat card, level, HP, attack, all of it popping up like an achievement just unlocked. Low level, low stakes, so why not just send the zombies in? In his head, he's already thinking bigger picture, stack up more monster types, keep the whole strategy flexible for whatever's next. Then the mood flips hard. Wait, what? This isn't some common mole anymore. It's a full Lord tier, furious mole, way stronger, and very clearly the actual boss running this mine. Worse, somebody just yanked its aggro straight onto them on purpose, and whoever did it is still out there watching. Turns out that mystery aggro from last time isn't some enemy locking onto him, no, it's something way more useful. A random priest passing by tags him with a holy shield buff, straight up plus 20 defense for a solid minute. Bro's stunned for a second. A random priest handing out free support like that? Honestly, take the win. Meanwhile, some poor miner nearby is losing his mind, wondering why every last iron ore around here just vanished overnight. Turns out that mystery priest is a big name too, part of the Super Iron Triangle Guild, so why is he out here solo? Bro's brain goes straight to business, gotta capitalize on this fast. The priest, meanwhile, is panicking, begging whoever's around to run, swearing he never meant to drag a monster over, and that he'll take full responsibility himself. Honestly, respect. Dude's out here being loyal to total strangers mid-disaster. Bro, on the other hand, is thinking purely about his mortgage-free villa and how badly he wants this boss that just wandered up free of charge. Cue the roar, cue the screaming, and honestly, the fight's basically over before it even starts. Even the monster looks stunned. Pure, what energy right before it drops. Somewhere online, people are already framing the loss as no shame, losing to a monster like that. Meanwhile, clips of him are blowing up again, everyone calling him the great master Lin Yuan, and honestly, it's getting a little annoying at this point. Enter Nguyen from the Rage Guild, watching that exact same livestream and absolutely fuming. Guild propaganda kicks in immediately, claiming their own chairman only wins because of his guild and his class. Skill for skill, nobody touches him apparently. Somebody in the comments dares to say the chairman should have stepped down ages ago, and say that again is not exactly a request. Then some random voice cuts in laughing. Basically full villain energy straight out of a Joker interrogation scene. His whole pitch, don't waste your anger on him, everyone's already saying it, and hey, when the heroes step back, the villains get the stage. That's apparently all it takes. Somebody confirms the kid's still live streaming from the mine right now. And just like that, the Rage Guild goes full Terminator March, everybody online, fall in, we're moving. The poor priest gets brushed off completely, and even he can feel the resentment shifting entirely onto our guy instead. Attack, and the whole squad comes in swinging. Somebody's taunting him too, staying locked on what's ahead while ignoring what's creeping up behind is going to cost him big. Honestly, Bro's spider sense should be screaming right now, but as the villain so kindly points out, he doesn't actually need to understand that before it hits. So that roar from the ambush turns out to be the exact opposite of bad news. The boss goes down clean before the guild even finishes charging in. It's time to end this, and yeah, apparently that was already the ending. Some random mouse-type mob is literally begging to get hit. Sir hit me, mesmerized by the legend's power. System pings in right after, boss down, level 15, plus a fresh drop of gear waiting to be claimed. A stalker's dagger and a pair of boots of agility, attack power, speed, agility all stacked on. Honestly, a nice little upgrade. Some random bystander clocks him immediately. You're the legend who soloed that giant wolf, right? Let's be friends. Bro shuts that down cold, wrong person. Staying anonymous is the whole plan here. The Rage Guild isn't buying the denial for a second. Impossible. They've watched his video on repeat. They'd know him even turn to ash. So, let's turn him to ash then and see if that still holds up. Even some of their own members are side-eyeing this. Isn't this a lot of fuss over one guy? But hey, orders are orders, cameras roll, time to make an example out of provoking the Rage Guild. Their whole pitch is simple. Remind everyone their leader, the Raging God, is the undisputed strongest player in the entire western sector. And honestly, free gear just fell in their lap here. No way they're passing that up. System flags it official, hostile encirclement confirmed, 15-minute counterattack window, kill him in that window, and it will not even count against anyone's sin value. Basically a straight-up Squid Game, with a cash prize attached and zero consequences. One guild member gets weirdly hyped about finally fighting side by side with a partner, all bonds and loyalty talk. The Raging God does not care, just tells him to step aside a little. Somebody else tries to warn him, wait, listen carefully, the Raging God is, and gets cut off with a single, quiet, were you saying something? Meanwhile, the stream's losing it. Wait, the legend just soloed a boss alone and now he's about to take on an entire group? The guild's not shy about the trash talk either. Stray dog no guild wants, thinking he's some kind of legend? Get him, finish him. Full formation kicks in, warriors charge in first, mages and priests hang back to wear him down, archers circle the outside. Bro's already read the whole thing like Batman with prep time. This group's actually coordinated, so the backline goes first. He pops stealth and just vanishes. Pure panic, that bastard disappeared. Mages cast Dispel. Quick, someone shouts. Well done, a half second before somebody else screams, it's too late. What, he's behind us? And the excuse train starts immediately. He just fought a boss. Health and mana have to be low. Charge. Numbers are on our side. Finish him. One bystander can't help but admire the sheer choreography of it. Honestly, that might be the most refined group beatdown anyone's ever narrated. Then the real gut punch, kill him and collect a reward scaled straight to the damage dealt, no upper limit, and that bounty is exactly where this chapter leaves him hanging. Continuing straight out of that bounty chaos, these narrow mine passages actually work in his favor, no room for the whole squad's numbers to matter. Wiping them out in bulk though? Honestly, not that hard either. One guild member even gets a little poetic about it. What a shame. The Great Master's still only human, nobody survives this much encirclement. Then somebody else immediately walks that back. What a shame. They just exploited our own opening. Somebody's yelling reminders like it's a pep talk. Remember everyone? He's one guy, we're a whole squad. And somewhere in the chat, one random fan is just cheering. Great Master, good luck. They spot him pulling back and immediately misread it as him running out of gas. He's exhausted. Take his head. Chase him. Don't you dare let him get away. One guy's already celebrating like he just reeled in the catch of the day. Somebody else is weirdly offended by the whole thing, screaming about how despicable a surprise attack is. Which, coming from the guild that started this fight, is a choice. Meanwhile, someone's calling for backup. He's here, come quick, right before another voice flatly says, they're not coming back. One guy even gets roasted for it. You led the first squad straight to their deaths? Isn't your obsessive boss going to blame you for that? What is the meaning of this? Someone demands, right before the actual answer detonates. He activates corpse explosion art. Turns out every zombie he's been quietly stacking up this whole time was never just cheap mining labor. It was a Thanos snap waiting to happen. What the hell did you do? Someone screams, and honestly, Go ask your own dead squad that question. One guy's still convinced their great master just made a rookie mistake. No idea it was the plan the entire time. The internet, predictably, is losing its mind. Noyan looks like a fool. He wiped out an entire team easier than farming regular monsters. Bro's just quietly thrilled about the bonus loot and already thinking logistics. Grab the gear fast, this spot's about to get crowded. The pull. Bloodthirsty dual blades, gold tier, attack, speed, and crit all boosted, plus a lifesteal skill that's basically a built-in Wolverine healing factor. The blacksmith does a full 180 too. Take back everything I said. Kid, you're solid. Come around more often. I always need ore. Affection jumps 100 points straight to friend status, and honestly, that ore haul alone should last him a month. Business brain kicks in immediately. Dumping all this loot on one merchant would draw way too much attention, so it's individual buyers, slower but safer. Then the real focus. Remember, in his past life, one of the first followers' men could control snakes, and that might be the exact thread tying back to a hidden serpent civilization in the sewers. Turns out a totally throwaway quest, kill 30 rat spirits, is quietly hiding the entrance to a secret dungeon down there. The payoff is a permanent stat boosting item, limited attempts a week, so he's already planning to bottleneck the entrance with his own undead before word gets out. Find the room full of snakes, and that's the door here. Except something's instantly off, because these snakes are nowhere near the size they're supposed to be. An underworld king serpent drops in, level 60, every single stat blacked out in question marks, straight up Dark Souls you died energy, and that is exactly where today ends. So yeah, that thing in front of him is somehow level 60, and honestly, how is that even fair for something that just crawled out of the sewers? Rule 1, effective immediately. This thing cannot touch him, not even once. He pops stealth instantly, which, turns out, does absolutely nothing. Plan B, work the terrain instead. Plan B folds just as fast. There is simply no blocking this thing. So he throws out his Thunder Scorpion just to buy a few seconds, because apparently magic gets fought with magic. Somebody watching this whole mess mutters, no way he can't handle this. Bro's straight up wheezing at this point, huff huff. And then, plot twist, this so-called terrifying monster genuinely cannot cause a stir here because of exactly where they're standing. This is the Imperial Palace of the Western Desert, guarded by a literal NPC job title, the Great Master, Protector of the State. And this guy crushes every single monster that wanders in, no exceptions, ever. Quick lore dump. The Serpentmen civilization and this kingdom have an old blood feud. The kingdom flattened them generations ago, and survivors fled underground to quietly plot revenge. So that terrifying level 60 threat he was panicking about? Total Uno reverse, it gets squashed like it's nothing. He clocks the actual upside though. The Serpent Demon Lair is probably tucked right near this exact Guardian's turf, which is exactly why nobody's ever stumbled onto it before. To avoid nearly dying like that again, smarter move, hit the market and grab a serpent luring potion that only calls in low-ranked serpents specifically. Deal closes clean, thanks for the purchase, come again. That's when some random guy bursts in dramatically, I've roamed this whole city just looking for your shadow, my dear friend. A friend request pings in immediately. Bro's whole response is one flat, do you have business? The guy's fully pitching now. Come fight monsters in Ash Valley with us. Wouldn't it be great fighting side by side, all bonds and destiny talk? He's already building a whole friend group around it too, a super quartet with 2 other names attached. We can be each other's wings apparently. Then one of those names stops him cold, Leinue, because in his past life, that exact name ran the second best guild in this entire city, and rumor says he's one of the founding 9 Heavenly Chosen behind the actual Order organization, which is a massive lead on exactly the group he's hunting, except today's also the last day before the hidden dungeon resets, so loot now, mystery guild later. He bails on today's invite, promises next time, says he's got business to handle. And the guy, completely undeterred, just promises he'll be waiting for that invitation anytime, my dear friend. So, his read from last life pays off immediately. Serpents always show up near the hidden dungeon entrance, and that's exactly the thread he follows. He sweeps the area for any trace of that oversized serpent from before, since these little guys down here are apparently the actual normal residents of this lair. He stays careful anyway, just in case something else unusual decides to show up again. Finally, there it is. Hidden dungeon unlocked, Lair of the Serpent Demon, and the first thing waiting inside is a whole batch of Serpent Demon larvae, level 10, each packing a bonus health pool from their own seed of flesh and blood. Go, so finish them all. His Thunder Scorpion drops Crystal Thunderstorm and just clears the whole room. Loot pops immediately, the seed of flesh and blood, basically a walking gotcha pull, random 1 to 5 points into a random main stat every single time. Humans can only actually absorb 100 of these before their body caps out, but honestly, at 4 or 5 gold a piece on the open market, that limit barely matters. First one lands, Spirit +3. He does the math out loud. clear this place once a week, and he's pulling in roughly 1,000 seeds, guild or no guild. Gold problems are officially over. More rolls keep landing, Constitution +5, Strength +2, Spirit +4. Last one caps him out completely, Tolerance maxed, 100 out of 100. Cue the full stat sheet flex, level 15, Forbidden class, Soul Reaper, Dark Summoning art talent, Spirit sitting at 318, basically an RPG status screen, showing off just how far he's come. Business plan locked in, bank the extra 900 seeds, rent a shop, sell them slow, and leave 3 of his own undead guarding the entrance so no random player ever stumbles onto this gold mine. But something's bugging him. These serpents don't match up at all with the ones he remembers a certain someone controlling back in his past life. Which raises an ugly question. Does somebody out there actually have the power to mutate monsters? Because that level 60 freak definitely should not exist this early. Right then, a call comes in, Xiaotan, and that alone is enough to spike his heart rate. She never calls first. She asks if something happened, and he asks right back if she's eaten, pure deflection energy from both sides. Turns out, it's actually a favor. Some classmate's brother needs help clearing a dungeon, and bro just says sure without even asking which one. Word gets back that it's Lin Tan, his own sister, setting this up, and apparently some classmates have been calling her a liar over it. The pick is Ash Valley, heroic difficulty, a dungeon no guild in the game has cleared yet. One bully doubles down hard, calling her brother a fraud who does nothing but play games all day, then takes an ugly shot straight at their parents. Lin Tan barely gets a word out before somebody else cuts in calm and steady. Enough. Don't waste your breath on him. I'll be at Ash Valley right now. Xiaotan's stuck worrying she just dragged her brother into trouble. Ash Valley on Heroic is basically the second hardest dungeon in the entire game, right behind Death difficulty. Rewind slightly though, because this whole mess actually started small. Her desk mate just congratulated her on the new villa, and one rich kid happened to overhear it. Her friend Qian Qian steps straight into witness mode, says this guy's bad news, and demands a real apology in front of the whole class once this plays out. Except the rich kid doubles down instead, wants everyone watching when the results come in. Then he goes for the actual cruel shot, mocking her family's money, practically laughing in her face about it. Somebody tries to shut it down, don't waste your breath on him, he's not worth... But the guy doesn't stop there. Instead, he hires 2 mercenary players just to go make her uncomfortable in game, paying double for it, and the way they talk about it is genuinely gross. What? What? Turns out both of them got shut down before they could even finish the sentence, practically Quicksilver fast, and the crowd's reaction is instant. That fast? That handsome? Wang Yan is furious about the money he just lost on hired muscle, more worried about the gold than what he actually tried to do. Lin Yuan doesn't even raise his voice, just asks flat, "So you're the one who bullied my sister and talked trash about our parents?" Wang Yan tries the "do you know who I am" route, and gets the coldest possible Uno reverse of an answer back. Doesn't matter whose money you were born into, dogs that bite people get put down. Reality hits Wang Yan fast. This dungeon needs 6 people minimum, and he just lost 2 of them. Lin Yuan's completely unbothered, tells them he's already got a replacement lined up. Sit tight. And honestly, there's a second reason he wants this cleared. Ash Valley drops a combat horsemanship skill he already knows he'll need down the line. So he pings that clingy friend from before, son of a bygone year, while the crowd's busy whispering about how tough and apparently handsome her brother turned out to be. Wang Yan sneers right through it though, people at their level. What respectable help could they possibly bring? Probably just scrubs who can't even clear trash mobs at the entrance. Then the teleport completes, and the whole crowd loses it. That's the great master son of a bygone year, main priest of the second strongest guild in the entire Western Desert. Someone immediately starts fawning, asking if he's here to carry the whole run, and son of a bygone year just melts over getting invited at all. Rushed straight over the second the ping came in, my dear friend. Bystanders are stuck on the same question. A top player like that never joins a random party, so how did this random kid pull it off? Word spreads fast that this exact dungeon, heroic difficulty, is one even the #1 ranked Rage Guild couldn't clear. One of Wang Yan's guys still can't resist the jab. What's a priest from the 2nd ranked guild even going to do here? Shut your mouth and watch, comes the reply, right before the whole party steps into Ash Valley on heroic difficulty. First thing waiting inside, an Ash Lizard, level 18, decent health, and a hard-hitting flame attack that burns over time. Xiaotan's stomach drops watching the numbers. These stats are no joke, and she's wishing out loud that her own level was higher. Meanwhile, Wang Yan's crew is already scheming. Figures the priest means they're planning to grind it out slow, so why not drag every nearby monster into the fight and bury them in numbers instead? His followers fully on board too. Let's see what he does now, right as more hissing closes in from every direction. The swarm hits immediately, and Xiaotan's already panicking. Why are this many monsters coming at once? This is nothing like the clear videos she watched. Son of a Bygone Year, unbothered, just notes her luck isn't great, then gets weirdly hyped about it. This is exciting, my dear friend. Your fighting spirit's awakening too. This fight is going to elevate us. Scorpion. His undead Crystal Thunder Scorpion drops. Crystal Thunderstorm and just clears the field. Protect yourselves, he warns, which is a very polite way of saying this thing is about to be a lot. He pulls Xiaotan behind him personally. Hide here, I've got this. Wang Yan, still somehow convinced this is going his way, mutters, in your dreams. Meanwhile, the crowd's just stunned watching him work, so he's actually this strong in the game. He tells her flat out, as long as I'm here, you're not falling into danger, not on my watch. And honestly, having Lin Yuan around genuinely feels safe. A brother like that hits different. Meanwhile, Wang Yan's over here bragging to his crew, calling this dungeon easy, insisting his silver gear alone puts him above everyone here. His follower agrees instantly. How could anyone else even afford gear like Mr. Yan's, right? Watch closely, he announces. This is the true power of your master, Yang Yan! And gets absolutely flattened 1 second later. He's on the ground groaning about how much it hurts, fully convinced he's about to die. Bro doesn't even look concerned. If you want to die, wait until I clear the dungeon first. What he actually wants is gold tier gear for Xiaotan, but silver's the move for now, so he hands over a pair of fighting spirit gloves, straight attack, strength, and a built-in crit chance buff. Armor of Courage comes right after, constitution, crit damage, and a shield that builds off every critical hit landed. The crowd loses it doing the math. One piece of silver gear alone could buy actual luxury, and he's handing it over like it's nothing. Diao Tan pushes right back though. Enough. Quit being reckless, keep it for yourself, I'll handle my own gear. He just sighs internally, still stubborn as ever. She pushes through anyway, I can do it. Except her health bar says otherwise, 24 out of 4,700, and something clicks in her head, it must be him. Her own thoughts spiral a little. He still treats her like a little kid, and she's not exactly thrilled about him meddling in her business. Meanwhile, he's over there sighing about how impossible she is to gift anything to. Somebody watching this whole exchange sums it up perfectly. One sibling keeps quietly sending help, the other keeps stubbornly refusing it, and honestly, watching that back and forth is more entertaining than the actual monsters. The dungeon's nowhere near finished though, and this is just getting started. They reach the final boss room, and Son of a Bygone Year's first instinct is caution. Maybe pull back for now, no penalty for leaving yet, but wiping on this boss costs levels and gear. Bro actually agrees at first, you're right. Wang Yan can't resist the jab though. Tough clearing trash mobs. Chicken, the second the actual boss shows up, huh? Lin Tan's spiraling with guilt in the background. This is all because of her, wishing out loud she were just stronger. Turns out the retreat talk was never really the plan, Son of a Bygone Year clarifies. The death penalty's brutal, so nobody else needs to lift a finger here. I can handle this alone, he says. The crowd's already losing it over how many summoned beasts this one guy is running around with. Son of a Bygone Year isn't having the doubt either? You partied with my dear friend and still don't know what he's capable of? Soloing world bosses, wiping the Bloodstained Guild by himself, straight up John Wick resume among every player he knows, this guy's the strongest. The actual boss reveal doesn't help anyone's nerves. Ashen Lizard King, King tier, level 21, 10,000 health, 1200 attack. Somebody does the math out loud, 1200 attack, 1 hit, and that's an instant kill, right? Lin Tan can't sit still. This happened because of her. There's no way she's letting him face this alone. Son of a Bygone Year offers to help pull aggro, casting Imprisonment and Holy Light both. Bro shuts it down flat, just watch from here, going up there only gets in my way. Which, understandably, stuns everyone listening. And then he just goes to work, reading the boss's entire skill range like Batman with prep time. Perfect kiting, tracking every single cooldown, like he had the whole fight memorized before it even started. Honestly, he basically did, and the crowd calls it exactly what it is. This is a work of art. Is this his actual strength? Somebody whispers. Classmates are fully cheering now. Lin Tan's brother is amazing. Take that lizard down. Wang Yan's the only one not thrilled. Shut up, and honestly, if this keeps going, he already knows exactly how humiliated he's about to look in front of the whole class. So he decides to cheat. One good sneak attack to throw off the timing, and the boss finishes the job for him in a single hit. Boss health ticks down to 315 out of 10,000, practically dead, right as it casts, tier on an 8-second cooldown. This is my chance, bro thinks. Wang Yan, mid-sneak attack, taunts him instead. Solo the boss? In your next life, idiot, hope you're tired of living. Somebody watching can't believe what they're seeing. There's no way he could have dodged that. Then disappear right along with it. Waha. Corpse explosion goes off right as everything's on the line, and just like that, boss down. Turns out, Wang Yan's own cheap sneak attack backfires spectacularly. and the server-wide announcement conveniently leaves his name off the list of people who actually cleared it. Classmates are already gushing to Little Tan about her brother. So handsome, so amazing. Can he take us through dungeons more often? She deflects fast. He's busy. We'll talk about it when the opportunity arises. Meanwhile, son of a bygone year is already hyping himself up to his bosom buddy. Next time I'll show you the real pinnacle of priests. One of Wang Yan's remaining guys finally connects the dots and goes straight for revenge and gets wiped out for it. Server notice. Follower of Yan has been killed. Loot time, and once the annoying insects are cleared out, it's straight to dividing gear. Nobody even wants a cut. You did all the damage. We're happy just clearing it, they insist. Bro only wants one thing anyway. The skill book and scroll, everything else, sort it out yourselves. Turns out that leftover gear lands perfectly too. Some guild leaders apparently been hunting exactly this piece for ages. He waves off his own cut entirely. Do whatever you want with it. I don't need anything. Sun tells Xiaotan straight up. Wang Yan's done bothering her now. Come to him directly next time trouble shows up. She stops him though, because something's been bugging her ever since he started playing. Has her brother felt any changes in his own body? Bro panics internally. Did she actually notice? But she's already in contact with people from the system, so the Soul Reaper secret stays buried, for her own safety. Out loud, he just plays it off. No, why do you ask? And she backpedals just as fast. No reason. Gotta go turn in a quest. He can't help but smile. She's grown up, but her acting's still terrible. And if she's actually talking to him like this again, maybe she's finally started calling him brother for real. No time to sit still though, because Sun's already back, hyped about queuing Valley of Ashes on death difficulty this time, and of course he invited his bosom buddy along, guaranteed success apparently. Internally, Bro's thrilled for a totally different reason. This is a fast track straight to Ling Yue, the exact lead he's been chasing on the whole First Follower mystery. Out loud, easy yes, wanted to try death difficulty anyway. Introductions roll out fast. Leader of the legendary trio, leader of the Mirror Flower Water Moon Guild, Ling Yue herself. She's polite about it too. Heard a lot about you. Welcome to the core team. Next up, Jing Hen, their magic damage specialist, rare class, mage of the Iron Triangle. And Jing Hen cuts that intro off himself, total Sasuke energy, arms crossed, insisting dragging a random solo player onto a death difficulty run is reckless. He'll only be dead weight. Sun tries defending him immediately, but Jing Hen's not done. Seen plenty of guys who just talk big. He sets terms instead. Clear half the boss's health, and the golden gear he's wearing is his. Screw it up, and he's paying for every loss. Bro doesn't even flinch, sure. Free golden gear works for him, just make sure everyone's watching so nobody conveniently forgets the deal later. Ling Yue shuts the whole debate down. We already agreed on this. Should have objected earlier. Plan stays the same. Let's move. Jing Hen tries one more angle straight at her. Death penalty's brutal. Reconsider. And gets flatly denied. I don't repeat decisions. Let's go. He's fuming to himself the whole way in. Stray dogs can't be relied on. He's the only real teammate here. First mob check, another ash lizard, same stats as before. Level 18, decent bite. Except the second they step in, they're already surrounded. Density on death, difficulty is apparently absurd. Ling Yue barks the plan out fast. Hold position, all pull aggro, everyone else finds the opening to break through. And Jing Hen, still stewing, is quietly fantasizing about lobbing a thunderball straight at Sun's head instead of the monsters. The swarm response gets messy fast. What's happening? Someone yells. Right as Jing Hen realizes way too late he completely forgot to watch the rear. Ling Yue is not thrilled either. Focus, Jing Hen. That's the entire job right now. Rear's getting overrun, no spare frontline left, and Jing Hen panics straight to his last resort. Fine, I'll throw my brown bear cub in too. Somebody shuts that down immediately. Don't. That thing dies instantly out there, and it costs you actual silver gear to get it. Epro just steps in instead. Leave this to me. And he actually holds the whole line solo, which means Jing Hen doesn't have to sacrifice his pet after all. Relief on the surface. Underneath, though, he's seething. Made him look bad in front of Ling Yue, and he's already muttering threats about this peasant not walking out of here alive. Ling Yue starts to bring up his mistake directly. Just now you were... Except a fresh wave cuts the conversation off completely. Hold steady, everyone. Stay locked in. Ling Yue is quietly cataloging something else entirely, though. The read on a crisis. The reaction time. That kind of control is genuinely rare. She's already planning to recruit him once this run wraps. Jing Hen's running the opposite math. His image in front of her just took a hit, so now it's payback time. Find a way to embarrass this guy back. Back in the fight, I'm coming to support you, someone calls out, followed immediately by, watch the friendly fire. Jing Hen's brain is still working the angle though. This is actually useful. Get closer to Ling Yue through the chaos, lower her guard, pull her into conversation. Damn you, he mutters through gritted teeth. They split the field anyway, right side, left side, got it, alright. Let's go, finish them off. Some random guild member watching this can't get over the chemistry. That combo skill was genuinely exciting. Look how in sync the leader and that handsome newcomer are. What a pair. Ling Yue is curious too, first time seeing a skill like that. Did you pick it up after switching specializations? Nah, he says, pure gotcha luck off a random skill book. She keeps pushing, second guild stacked with talent. Are there other specialists like you? She'd love to compare notes. He could just join Mirror Flower Water Moon and meet them himself. He turns it down flat, pass, he still prefers going solo. Except something on his face catches her completely off guard. That smile, is it déjà vu? It looks exactly the same as something she can't quite place. Xinghen, watching from a distance, is already spiraling. What did that bastard say to her? Why does she look like that now, damn it? Loot gets reported in regardless, gears all collected, splitting it after the boss. Ling Yue checks in. Are they still running the original plan on the boss? Xinghen suddenly flips the script completely, actually. Wait, he wants to apologize to this guy. His strength is way beyond what any of them expected, and honestly, he could probably handle a lot more on his own. So why not let him draw the boss's attention solo, he suggests, and that suggestion is doing a lot of heavy lifting. Bro calls the play out loud immediately. If he goes tank the boss's attention, he never gets a shot at the boss himself, let alone half its HP. So is this really about breaking the deal on that golden gear? Xinghen just scoffs internally, like he could survive more than a couple hits from this thing. What a dreamer. Sun jumps in, reassuring him anyway. Relax. Complete the mission and the golden gear's his, regardless. Ling Yue pushes back hard. Changing the plan mid-fight is way too risky. Xinghen flips it around fast though. You're clearly impressed by him too, so why not just let him decide for himself? Bro's own read on it is simpler, getting close to the guild, and Ling Yue is going great. Xinghen though is turning into a real problem, so for now, calm him down, deal with him properly later. Alright, he agrees. The actual boss reveal explains the tension. King of Ash Lizards, Monarch tier, level 25, 15,000 health, 1500 attack, a whole kit of nasty skills. Somebody does the math and panics. Level 25 against the level 15 player cap. Straight up Dark Souls, you died territory. The gap's insane. Attack, someone shouts. Don't just stand there. Xinghen's already snickering to himself, watching Bro open with the exact same ground slam he always does. Thinks he's about to eat serious regret. Bystanders are cackling too, calling him a pathetic little mouse against something this big. Use the control skill, someone yells at Xinghen. Right as he freezes, damn it, too late. Ling Yue explodes. Xinghen, what in the hell are you doing? Turns out he completely whiffed the planned paralysis on the boss's tail, wasted the exact opening they set up in advance. All he's got is a week. And the whole team's badly hurt with recovery taking way too long. Ling Yue, to her credit, takes the hit for it publicly. Their new teammate made zero mistakes. It was her own supposedly in-sync crew who ended up being the burden on him. She's ready to pull him out entirely. Guild eats the loss. Except somebody stops her. Leader, wait, look, he's completely unbothered, still fighting it solo. Ling Yue decides she'll step in herself instead. The boss's weak point is its back. Paralyze the tail with thunder damage first, and it's open season. Too slow, the boss taunts, right as Bro's Thunder Scorpion beats her to it. Paralyzing Thunderstrike lands clean. Tails neutralized. Clear runway. Let's go. Ling Yue can't hide the shock Thunder element pet, and he already knew exactly how to counter this boss. Xinghen's mortified in real time. How did he know that? This basically makes him look worse than a summoned beast at this point. Sun's beaming with pride. That's my bosom buddy. Full confidence. Let's heal up fast and go back him up. Xinghen's still muttering bitterly though, figures the beast won't hold. One good shockwave from the boss should crush them easy. Except Bro pops Dark Curse and just tops his summons right back up. Straight Wolverine level regeneration. Which lands like a gut punch. If he can keep healing his own army indefinitely, is he seriously about to solo this entire boss to zero? Everyone get ready. The boss is nearing its execution phase. Alright, let's finish this together, and right on cue, the King of Ash Lizards unleashes Furnace of All Melting. Boss goes into its death throes and unleashes its single strongest group skill right as it's about to die. Watch out, everyone's warned. This is the last big one. Except Xinghen picks this exact moment to lose it completely, screaming that he refuses to lose, he wants his gear, he wants Ling Yue, and he wants both Bro and the boss gone entirely. Ling Yue reacts instantly, everyone get clear, and yanks the whole group back with a repelling thunder ring before anyone gets caught in his mess. Bro's not even surprised, honestly. He called this exact betrayal coming from a mile away. How annoying, he mutters, right before pulling someone in close. Don't be scared, just hold on. Corpse explosion. Art finishes the job clean, and the server rolls out the announcement, first ever clear of Ash Valley on death difficulty. Ling Yue is genuinely stunned by it, this young and already this experienced, not a shred of fear the whole fight. Bro plays it off easy, eh? Probably just good luck. She pushes anyway, guild or not, she wants to stay friends so they can tackle harder content together. Friend request sent, friend request accepted. Somebody's already teasing her. First time anyone's seen Yue, disflustered. Meanwhile, Xinghen's having his own crisis entirely. Still tangled up from that rescue. Put me down, he hasn't even touched a strand of her hair yet. Loot check drops next, and Bro's contribution alone reads 87%. Which means, by the bet Xinghen set himself, that golden gear is officially owed. Xinghen immediately tries stalling. Ahem, let's just look at the loot first and figure out splits. Nope, comes the answer, hand it over now. He caves instantly. I'll give it, just let me swap gear first, I promise. Sounds an awful lot like backing out of the deal, doesn't it? Ling Yue steps in with a cleaner offer instead. First pick from tonight's loot, plus she'll personally buy him something better suited. Deal? He agrees, but what he actually wants isn't gear at all. He'd rather trade notes with whichever guild expert has the rarest skills. She's into that, says she'll go ask around the guild, then turns back to Xinghen with one last line. Almost forgot, there's still you. Cut to a separate alert entirely, he's already using dark summoning art on the fresh corpse of the Ash Lizard King, and elsewhere, 3 of his undead guards down in the sewers just got wiped out. Whoever did it is stunned too. No player should even be leveling anywhere near that hidden dungeon. 3 corpses should scare anyone off, unless the Snake Tamer himself just showed up. This stranger's thinking exactly what Bro's been thinking. The lead on the first follower runs straight through this guy. Back in the game, somebody's just reminding him he still hasn't picked up his gear. Elsewhere, the investigation into the dead guards is already underway. Entrance looks normal, but the secret passage feels safer. No struggle marks anywhere. These corpses were suffocated clean. Whoever did this knows real assassination work. Fang marks, someone notices, right where the bite landed. And the math doesn't lie. Reading this scene like Batman with prep time, these marks are way too big for the little snakes down here, but way too clean for that giant netherworld serpent, which never leaves a body intact. Only one answer left standing. This has to be the Snake Tamer's work. Further in, a fresh threat waiting. Bone-gnawing devil serpent level 15, packing skills nobody's tested yet. Total Indiana Jones energy down here. Unknown effects, higher level than expected. Stay careful. And there's more where that came from. Things get chaotic fast. Direwolf pet moves to block, and something out there actually howls back in pain. Bro's read on the whole fight is simple. Some cowards hiding in the dark puppeting these snakes, and the only way through this is dragging him out into the open. Found him. Nowhere left to run, he says, gearing straight into a fresh pair of shadow gauntlets. Then the gut check. This door's got marks he left earlier, meaning this exact spot is the giant netherworld serpent's territory. He's being walked straight into a trap. So it turns into a staring contest. Whoever loses patience and swings first loses, and Bro just goes invisible instead. The guy's fuming that the bait didn't land, snapping that nobody else gets to learn the secret of these sewers, total domain expansion energy over his own turf. He spots an opening and lunges anyway. Feed the snakes, he yells, right before immediately demanding who he actually just hit. What? He sputters. How dare you play tricks on me? You're asking to die! Bro's already clocked the whole pattern though. This guy's no melee fighter, keeps his distance at all costs, so if the undead can just tie up the snakes, this fight is winnable. The enemy panics at the sight of it. Wait, undead too? That can't be a coincidence, that's actually impossible. He tries needling him instead, anything besides snake tricks, or is that the whole kit? Bro shuts him down cold, doesn't matter, dead men don't need to know much. Enemy fires back, calling him weak without the snakes, an actual embarrassment to the first follower. Which lands wrong immediately, damn it, how does this random guy even know about the Great Lord? He scrambles for control anyway, still got snakes, plans to capture and interrogate at his leisure. He's even quietly impressed by the earlier ambush, figures the terrain synergy explains it. And just like that, he's convinced this guy's already working for the first follower. Priority 1 now is capturing him first. It's over, scum, he announces, not realizing he's the one being lured in closer on purpose. The hit lands with a scream, and something's off. This magic carries a control effect, movement slowing down fast. The enemy finally puts words to it. When he first saw the undead, he figured it was a coincidence, didn't actually expect a real Reaper to exist. He even twists the knife a little. Shame your skill set isn't exactly complete. Tesk, tesk. Bro plays it dumb instantly, Reaper? No idea what you're talking about. Except the damage is already done. How does some random guy even know that class exists, let alone its actual skill set? And that question just hangs there unanswered. The interrogation threat gets thrown right back at him. That exact line, "We've got plenty of time today," cute, because now it's getting returned word for word. Enemy panics hard when he realizes what actually happened. Wait, when did his snakes turn into undead? Bro doesn't even blink. His own army's basically endless, total Terminator math, while the guy's snake count just keeps shrinking, so any more resistance is pointless. Not happening, the enemy spits back. No way, a nobody like him gets to catch him. Corpse explosion. Art answers that directly, but the guy raps out and bails before it fully lands. He got away clean, sure, but Bros at least confirmed exactly where this snake charmer operates. A bigger lore drop follows right after. This era's version of the snake charmer hasn't even hit his real power yet. That's apparently reserved for whenever some evil god finally shows up. Bro's already planning ahead though. Learn the release skill, and every one of these snakes becomes free, undead material, served up on a platter. Then a random find, some kind of pocket watch left behind. No attribute panel on it at all, probably some kind of talisman, not actual gear. And since the enemy might be hiding inside Mirror Flower Watermoon, now's the perfect window to swing by Ling Yue before he has time to relocate. Message sent, wants to talk tonight about the whole Ash Valley thing? He shows up a little late, and she's already got the gold gear ready as promised. Mana recovery of all things, and honestly, ever since picking up Corpse Explosion art, his mana bill's been brutal, so this is exactly the kind of sincerity that lands. Loot from Ash Valley gets handed over too. First pick like they agreed, a ghostly light breastplate with built-in damage reduction, a meteor dagger stacked with attack, speed, and crit, plus a skill scroll worth 100 points of mastery. He only wants the scroll, everything else, hers to keep. She teases him a little, thought you were the reclusive type, didn't expect you'd show up somewhere like a pub. His cover story's simple, ran into some expert in the sewers today wearing a guild emblem that looked a lot like Mirror Flower Watermoon's, wanted to compare notes. She bites. The sewers? She'll ask around the guild. He pulls out the pocket watch too. Does anyone she knows carry something like this? She's never seen anything quite like it either, definitely not standard gear. He tells her straight, this one actually matters to him. Please, look into it. She pivots casually, handing out gold gear that easy. Won't your own guild have something to say about it? Bro's already thought about that. Xinghen's furious as expected, but the fault was entirely his to begin with. Then her tone shifts completely. Quiet. You look a lot like her brother. Close enough that even she sometimes struggles to tell them apart. If he'd lived, he'd be around this exact age. Suddenly, every strange look she's ever given him makes total sense. My condolences is all he can offer, and she just says, it's in the past. She leaves him with one more thing though. Start stocking electricity resistance potions. He's going to need them soon. What she doesn't know is the order's already onto that exact dungeon too, except Bro's sitting on 100 paralysis herbs already, the strongest recipe in the game, completely by accident of timing. He wraps it up polite, he'll think it over, heading out now, and she just says, let's walk together. Meanwhile, someone's watching this whole thing from the shadows, losing his mind. Is that bastard on a date with Ling Yue? He's dead. Caught red-handed a second later. Xinghen, what a coincidence. You came to the pub too? Caught red-handed, and the excuse is instant, ahem, just passing by. He can't help himself though. Why is she even talking to a guy like that? She should stay away from him. Ling Yue shuts that down flat. It was guild business, nothing more, don't read into it. He keeps pushing anyway, wanting her sword expertise for himself too. Is that not allowed? She calls the real motive out directly though, and warns him plainly, be careful around people like this or you'll bring trouble on yourself. He backpedals hard. No, that's not what he meant. Too late, she's already disappointed, and walks off leaving him alone with it. Alone now, the jealousy curdles into something worse. If he just finishes Bro off, Ling Yue goes back to only looking at him. I'll finish him, he decides. Cut to a bar, and he's already found exactly the kind of person for this. Kill someone for me. The hire barely looks up. Let me finish this drink first. Double pay after the job's done, Xinghen offers, and make it as gruesome as possible. Not stingy at all, comes the reply. Deal accepted, target photo sent. The hired blade sets his own terms too. Somewhere crowded, torture him slow, let everyone watch. Then a pause, studying the photo. This face looks familiar somehow. Elsewhere, the pocket watch lead keeps going cold. An old NPC just calls it an ordinary trinket, suggests trying the Scorpion Tail Knights instead, assuming anyone can even get in. Bro's honestly stunned a source. This plugged in has never seen it before. That's when a woman shows up checking in on the old man, groceries in hand, warm as anything. Turns out, she's exactly the connection he needs, daughter of the knight's own commander. She corrects that fast though, not his daughter anymore, just a seamstress these days. The old man gently calls out the obvious rift between them, tells her this whole feud with her father has gone on long enough. Something in that lands, and she agrees to help after all. Turns out, she's been holding on to something this whole time, a gift she never thought she'd get the chance to send. A full year of sewing wrapped into one suit with one simple ask, deliver it to her father and bring back his answer. Hidden quest accepted. Guard post stops him cold at first, then softens the second Edith's name comes up. Turns out, these knights are the single strongest force in the whole Old Kingdom outside the National Master himself, exactly the kind of connection worth building. He's let through fast after that, and quietly, this whole errand doubles as reputation grinding toward a mount only these knights can offer. Walking in, the nerves hit different though. This commander apparently hits like a level 60 boss monster, so the Reaper's secret stays buried no matter what. He keeps it formal, apologizes for the intrusion. and the very first thing out of the commander's mouth isn't about the delivery at all, just one quiet question. Is Edith doing all right? Edith's message gets delivered word for word. She misses him, and she sent along something with it. The robe unfolds, a whole year of stitching poured into one piece, meant to prove exactly how sincere she still is. So, the commander's hands are shaking over it. A whole year, all that work, all that care. Then the guilt spills out. Why won't she just come see him herself? And the real story comes out too. 10 years ago, he called her sulling beneath her, and drove his own daughter away over it. 10 years since they last spoke, he admits quietly. Bro's own read cuts through the sentiment, though. A guy who can summon wind and rain has this soft A-side, worth remembering for later, and there's still that pocket watch to ask about. The commander insists Edith never blamed him for any of it, says he doesn't care about Glory anymore, just wants her back. Before leaving, though, Bro brings up the actual pocket watch. Does he recognize it at all? Nothing, the commander admits. Never seen a style like it in his life. One more request follows. Hurry back with his answer for Edith. Wait, the commander suddenly calls out, demanding to know exactly who he's dealing with. For a second, it feels like he's sensed something he shouldn't have. But he backs off just as fast. Since his daughter trusts this guy, that's good enough. No more doubting. Gratitude follows immediately, permission to execute anyone who ever bothers Edith, in the name of the entire Night Order. Reputation jumps a full 1,000 points on the spot, straight to friendly status, plus honorary membership and an insignia that only the commander himself can hand out. That little badge alone means free travel across the entire Western Desert. Reputation Shop unlocks too, and there's exactly one thing worth every coin in it. 300 gold for a poisonous scorpion lion, one of maybe a handful in the whole city, and he doesn't even blink at the price. Mount activated and paired with the riding skill he already had, he's basically a mobile artillery tower now. Back with Edith, the message finally lands. Did her father really say all that? She's stunned, honestly thought he'd forgotten she existed years ago, buried in Night Order business. Bro reassures her straight, the commander still wants her home. Her answer's gentle but firm, just knowing he means it is enough. Hidden quest complete. She rewards him properly too, gold tier gear, constitution, defense, spirit, plus a skill that grants full immunity to spells and control effects for 10 seconds. Which, conveniently, is basically a hard counter to that exact Snake Tamer problem he's still working. She's staying in the city though, sewing's what makes her happy, and that's the answer he carries back. With the pocket watch trail still cold, he pivots and just asks the commander directly about anything snake related. The official answer is simple. Humanity cleared this city of snakes long ago, but does one that only shows up in dreams still count? Something huge, apparently, though dream stuff is too fleeting to actually investigate. Since he's already an honorary knight with an interest in snakes, the commander hands him an actual assignment: go to Count Carlo's estate and dig up whatever's behind his nightmare. Bro's mind jumps straight to the obvious question: is this the underworld serpent somehow crawling into someone else's dreams, and is the snake tamer behind it? Cut straight to the estate in question, and it is not a good sign. Some woman's being beaten down for daring to disobey the Count's order. Beat her, someone orders, cold as anything, and that's exactly where this new lead drops him. Guards are already working someone over before he even gets through the gate. Glutton for punishment, they call it, an honor that the Count's take an interest in you at all. Bro takes the estate in for a second, so this is where a Count lives, quite the eye-opener. The reception isn't warm. Where'd this lowlife come from? How dare he meddle in the Count's business? The man himself even weighs in, mocking the whole hero act. Stay here with her then. Get him. A bystander begs him to just leave. Nothing good ever comes from crossing this Count. He doesn't move though. This is exactly the place he came here to find. The fight's over almost instantly, and the confusion starts right after. Whose men did you just put hands on? Turns out this is Manticore Knight's territory, and word travels fast. Someone shows up furious, demanding the lowlife get thrown in a cell on the spot. Bro clears it up flat, sent by the Manticore Knights himself here about the nightmare. A knight, huh? Comes the response, tone shifting completely. The actual guards who started this mess get strung up instead, 3 days without food for not knowing the difference between a knight and a nobody. He's finally welcomed properly too, solve the problem, and there's a good word waiting with Sid. The Count's own account of his nightmare comes next, some giant serpent chasing him through his sleep every night, and not even the priests he's paid can figure out why. He wallows in it too. How ridiculous, a man of his standing forced to suffer like this. A sketch of the creature gets handed over, and Bro recognizes it instantly, the Hades serpent. He asks for time to work it and gets a quiet warning back, know exactly what you're doing, for both their sakes. Then the mask slips completely, screaming at a servant, threatening to flay her alive over nothing. She's begging for mercy, and he just calls her useless trash, born lowlife, nothing more. Someone finally steps in, reminding him they're supposed to be discussing the commission right now. He catches himself, lost his composure, but insists it's all for their own good. How else will they learn to survive? Then he starts bragging, claims he's the only one who ever showed these homeless girls any kindness, taking them in, and they should be nothing but grateful. One of them, Anna, confirms it on command. Yes, very grateful for being taken in. He dismisses her the second she said her line, then turns the whole worldview on Bro. Directly, people born poor aren't worth a piece of bread. Their only real purpose is serving someone like him. Wouldn't a knight agree? Bro's silence alone reads as defiance, and the Count gets defensive fast, accusing him of meddling. Pettiness follows immediately. A banquet gets ordered, and a separate table for the knight who apparently holds no real title. Fancy venison arrives from some rival count as a gift, gets one approving nod, then the insult. This knight probably wouldn't appreciate refined food anyway, just give him fish soup. He still checks in on the investigation constantly though. Figured it out yet? Don't take too long. Bro asks for one specific thing, access to his private room tonight. Instantly shut down. Is he joking? That room is off limits, full stop. Figure it out on your own then, the Count snaps. Results are all he cares about. And privately, that's exactly the kind of arrogance Bro's already filing away. He slips into the room under stealth, certain there's a secret hiding somewhere in here after everything he's seen. Something's wrong almost immediately. What he catches is ugly, the Count screaming at a maid for daring to call serving him an insult, a flatterer right there agreeing that plenty of people would kill for the honor. She's sobbing an apology, and the Count just twists the knife further. One knight isn't protecting anyone. That fool's a puppet he can do whatever he wants with. His flatterer laughs right along. Once the Count speaks, even a knight turns into nothing but a slave. And that's when it clicks. This is exactly how every maid in this house ended up trapped, serving him. Then the Count starts bragging to no one in particular. Power and influence in this kingdom, and apparently others too, holding the title of Count even abroad. Nobody escapes his grip for life. A scream cuts through right after that. A smart man never keeps all his eggs in one basket, someone adds knowingly. But Bro's caught the actual hole in the story. A title granted by the Western Desert's own king shouldn't carry any weight in other countries at all, unless a hidden condition triggers right then, and the whole quest flips completely, from solving a nightmare to capturing a traitor, gold tier, find proof, and bring him in, 48 hours on the clock. Just as suspected, Count Carlo's the traitor here, and priority one is getting word to the Scorpion Tail Knight squad. Capture request sent. Back in the room, the Count's still fuming about the snake keeping him up, deciding everyone else can lose sleep too. A guard checks in on the scream, and Bro's whole plan now is just stalling until backup arrives. The Count's fury lands directly on him instead, calling him out for insulting him repeatedly, a flatterer piling on about capital crimes for breaking into a Count's home. He tries to make an exit, says he's got business to discuss with the Count. Not happening, the Count snaps, ruin his mood and just walk off? A minor knight thinking he's something special. The insults keep coming too. That badge doesn't hide the smell of poverty on him. The Count orders him strung up on the spot, wants him to see exactly how low bloods like him end up. Rest assured, my lord, comes the obedient reply. Then everything flips at once, someone shouting that an actual assassin's after the Count. A voice in the chaos begs him to just run, not throw his life away over this. That's not enough to kill him, bro, answers flat. An assassin, someone confirms. Finish him. Attack. Alright, bro, agrees right before the guards realize exactly what that means for them. Too many maids and servants crowding the halls though, which rules out anything as messy as spirit summons or corpse explosions here. Somebody in the crowd whispers the obvious question. Does that guy actually want to kill the Count? Shut down instantly. Quiet. Don't say things like that. A scream rips through the estate right after, someone begging for help, and that's exactly where the knight leaves things. The plan's simple for now. Watch the Count and his head butler, wait for the night division to actually show up. Then the butler tries something on him directly, some kind of control spell, and honestly, perfect timing to actually test that new Dark Path skill. Magic immunity activates, and the control effect just cancels outright. The butler isn't worried yet though, calls every knight nothing but brute force dressed up as an expert. The Count backs that up hard, thinks he doesn't keep experts around. Torture him properly. Somebody watching assumes it's already over, fallen straight into the head butler's hands, a retired specialist from the actual Royal Mages Corps. The dagger's the real threat, laced with lightning meant to run straight through the blood. The butler even gloats about how unpleasant that feeling is, tells him to keep quiet about it. Except the reaction that actually lands is his own. Weren't you supposed to be under control? Bro lays out the actual stakes plainly. Compared to whatever mission they're running, treason against the nation is a whole different level of serious. How did you even find out? Comes the panicked response, right before the follow-up threat, since you know, just die. He clarifies fast though, killing isn't even on the table. The mission needs him captured alive. A knight who actually knows real magic, that alone rattles them. One of them still tries bravado, promising to have the master judge him personally, sentence him to death, which ages badly almost instantly. Wait, weren't you the one talking death sentences a second ago? The flip-flop is instant too. No, wait, he actually meant to recommend a reward, maybe even a medal from the king himself. Privately though, the math's simpler. Capturing Bro is worth a medal either way. The Count himself finally gets the treatment he's been dishing out this whole time and starts screaming for it to stop. One simple question lands harder than anything. All those innocent people he crushed, did stopping ever even cross his mind? He caves fast, says he was wrong, promises to release everyone right now. It's too late for that. Start thinking about your confession, Bro tells him, and the Count spirals straight into begging. Anything, just leave him alone. Say goodbye to noble status while you're at it. The actual Night Division finally arrives, hoping they're not too late, asking where exactly the culprit is. The answer lands like a bomb. The criminal is Count Carlo himself, a traitor to the nation. A traitor, someone repeats, stunned, right before the pushback starts. Attacking a Count without evidence carries a death sentence of its own. One of them turns hostile fast, calling this whole accusation an insult, accusing whoever sent him of sending a madman. Word alone isn't enough to arrest a Count, they admit, and for a second the whole case looks dead. Wait, Bro cuts in. He knows exactly where the evidence is. Turns out he overheard the Count conspiring directly with the Serpent Men civilization, running actual rituals in a hidden room not far from here. Nonsense, the Count fires back. When has he ever dealt with the Serpent Men? Then he turns on the actual witness instead, some maid who overheard it all, promising to tear her mouth apart for talking. Since the mission itself is calling it treason, that settles it for everyone listening. The Count really must be guilty. Bro asks the commander to haul the Count off to prison first, promising the actual evidence is coming soon. He puts everything on the line for it too, full responsibility, whatever the outcome. The commander's blunt about the stakes, great achievement or huge mistake, it all rides on what he actually finds. 2 knights stay to assist the search, the rest haul the Count to the barracks. One of the rescued maids opens up to him specifically, says he's nothing like the others, that she actually trusts him. The secret passage in the Count's house leads straight into the sewers, exactly where anything Serpent Men related would want to hide. What still nags at him is simpler though. Why was this maid even down here to overhear the conspiracy in the first place? The hidden meeting room turns out to be close, and he tells her to leave the rest to him. No obvious markings on the door itself, so he opens it on high alert anyway. Looks completely empty at first, right before the hissing starts. Everyone panics at whatever just moved, and he calms it down fast, just a few small snakes. Turns out that's actually the tell. Snakes camping out in a place like this basically confirms something shady's going on. He can't shake the read that she wasn't even surprised by any of it, and if she'd been silenced there'd be nobody left to prove the Count's guilt at all. The theory even goes further. What if she's a Serpent Man herself, wearing a human face, and turned on the Count the second exposure got close? He plays it safe either way. A snake repellent potion keeps the ones nearby from attacking at all. He's also got the opposite kind, one that actively excites real Serpent Men, and testing it quietly is exactly how he plans to find out the truth. She apologizes, genuinely had no idea any of this was even down here. The evidence has to be inside regardless. And there it is, a full Serpent Men totem, exactly the kind of relic the king ordered destroyed generations ago, one the Count kept hidden this whole time. His own emblems stamped right on it too, no room left to argue, straight up collusion. Back at the barracks, the Count's already demanding answers. A whole night's passed. Where's the supposed evidence? Still swearing revenge the second he gets free, still calling everyone scum beneath him. The totem changes everything the moment it's shown. Interrogate him properly, now! He denies it outright, no connection to the Serpent Men whatsoever. The pressure keeps coming anyway. Confess your crimes, you lowly traitor. Even the commander admits he never expected Carlo of all people to actually be a traitor. Credit where it's due though, the mission's a genuine win, already reported straight to the king, reward incoming. The Count's still clinging to his title on the way out, screaming that he's a Count, that has to count for something. The head butler tries the same dodge, insists he's just staff, nothing to do with any of it. Commander's already thinking bigger picture too. The Serpent Men surely know plenty about this kingdom, worth a full investigation, and he leaves the rescued maids in Bro's hands. Pressure finally cracks the butler first, small dealings with outside powers he admits, begging for mercy since he confessed on his own. Someone else spits back that this country's soldiers fought for years while he was quietly selling them out from the inside. Mission complete, technically, but the actual giant serpent from that recurring nightmare never even came up. Feels like a detail slipped through somewhere. The confession that does land is a real surprise though. The contact wasn't even Serpent Men directly, a spy working for the Southern Return Kingdom instead. One loose thread from his own past life keeps nagging him too. A forum post once mentioned a king-gifted armor sitting somewhere in this house, exactly the kind of gear worth tracking down. Except it's nowhere to be found, which raises the real question, did someone else already know exactly what it was worth? Every girl gets accounted for except one. It's Anna who's missing. Two theories come to mind immediately. Did the Serpent Men retaliate against her, or was his earlier hunch about her actually right all along? Either way, finding her comes first. And the one place that never sat right with him is that same secret passage linking the mansion straight to the sewers. He'd felt from the start that something about this whole case wasn't adding up. Because if the Count was really colluding with the Serpent Men, why would he ever casually mention dreaming about a giant snake to anyone in the first place? Cut somewhere else entirely, and someone's asking if the whole Count Carlos situation is finally over. It's the Snake Tamer, someone confirms right as stealth kicks in nearby. Turns out Anna herself is meeting this exact person in secret, which raises the obvious question, is she even a real player at all? He's thoroughly impressed too, calls her a natural-born actress, says not even the Count could have imagined the secret room was her setup all along. A different knight, though, has been circling her specifically, testing her directly with a snake-luring potion, and she wants backup. Weren't all those fools supposed to be under her control already? He shoots back, asking what this particular knight even looks like. She describes him easily, still framing this whole thing as just another step in weakening the Western Desert's nobility for the Serpent Men. He asks how her side of things is going with the snakes, and the answer comes out through gritted teeth. It's this bastard. Turns out his own beloved snakes abandoned him because of this exact guy, the same one who stole his secret dungeon outright. Putting it together now, Anna's a Serpentman spy whose actual goal is framing and eliminating the Western Desert's nobles one by one. Except there's a wrinkle even she can't explain. If the Count was framed, why did the system still register the mission as complete? Doesn't matter, comes the answer. He'll find the right moment and take this imposter Snake Tamer out first. Someone else chimes in, surprised. Wait, you've run into him too? Isn't he just some knight who's decent at magic? Can't you even handle that yourself? He pushes back hard. This guy can summon actual undead, way stronger than anyone's given him credit for, and that exact undead guarding the secret dungeon is the entire reason he's been suffering. The undead, someone repeats slowly, could his class actually be? That's exactly it, comes the answer, which is why he needs the Underworld Serpent lent out for this. Flat refusal though, the Serpent Men have other plans reserved for that thing entirely. The second the Imperial Master of the Western Desert even senses it moving, he'll likely wipe it out on the spot, a loss the whole civilization genuinely can't afford. He's not willing to wait any longer to deal with this problem though. You have to hand it over, someone insists, refusing to let him act recklessly with it. Worth noting too, NPCs almost never interact directly with players like this, which makes the obvious theory land harder. Is the Snake Tamer just using Anna to farm reputation for the entire Serpent Men's civilization? Turns out the Underworld Serpent can actually feel his emotions directly, so if he genuinely wants a fight, nobody's stopping it once it starts. Someone dryly calls the pair a truly loyal master and servant, everything sacrificed for the plan. He backs off eventually, decides he'll solve the imposter problem his own way, tells Anna to just keep running her mission. She's not thrilled about the assignment either, complains about how repulsive it is serving disgusting old nobles, and admits this trip only turned up some barely upgraded armor, hardly worth putting up with that fat pig for. Back with Bro, stealth flat out doesn't work on the Underworld Serpent, so recklessness is off the table entirely. The enemy's actual plan is simpler and colder, small snakes tailing him quietly, waiting for the moment he's alone to strike. Elsewhere, one more voice adds to the pile. The first follower matter comes first. Capture the Snake Tamer before anything else, and this time the Dark Path Spirit skill should finally catch him off guard. Some tracking skill locks onto him out of nowhere, and the read is immediate, this same undead sensing spirit again. Not good, he's being tracked. Good thing he actually planned for this exact scenario. The enemy's fuming somewhere else entirely, swearing he'll eliminate this scoundrel sooner or later. Teleport activates clean, and he's gone. Bystanders can't get over it either. An actual teleport scroll? Burned that casually? He's already thinking business though. Time to move a batch of electrical resistance potions before that Thunder Dungeon opens and turns them into a hot commodity. And he still needs to keep occupying that hidden serpent lair on the side. Elsewhere, Edith's taking in every rescued girl without hesitation, calls their hardship reason enough, offers to teach them proper sewing instead of servant work. The party thanks her warmly, exactly the outcome they came here hoping for. Back on the political side, Carlos' confessions are fully processed and handed to the commander, and the reveal lands hard, secret dealings with the Southern Return Empire. An actual sworn enemy of the kingdom, someone spits, calling it a genuine disgrace. Bro clocks the bigger picture too. This world's whole rivalry between the Southern Return Empire and the Western Desert has apparently been simmering forever. Meanwhile, some other enemy faction is tracking his movements separately, ordering their side to move the moment he's clear of the knights. Ka, understood, comes the reply, loud and clear. Back to business. The recipe he's sitting on is genuinely one of a kind, and making the potion needs a high-level chemist, except almost every real one belongs to a major guild already. Worse, the recipe item burns up after one use, so teaching it to the wrong person and getting betrayed after is a real risk. Safest move is finding an actual freelancer and locking in a contract, though those are rare enough that testing the waters with a bounty post makes more sense first. One name jumps straight out of his past life memory: Luo Qingyan, top 10 chemist in the entire Western Desert, ranger by trade, and never once joined a guild. Her bounty's already live: kill 10 granite golems, grab the core essence, 3 gold, 3 days, and he snaps it up on the spot. She's oblivious to who just took it too, still fuming that some rival guild's been sabotaging her listing. She meets him in person, still expecting the worst. Just you, alone, against elite monsters. You sure about this? Yes, he says. Except the crowd recognizes her first. Wait, isn't that the drunk from the tavern? That's supposedly Luo Qingyan? She's just as thrown by him, didn't expect her little brother client to be this handsome, offers to protect him with her bow personally. No need, he says flat, and privately he's already filed her under not exactly reliable, total Master Roshi energy, legendary reputation, deeply unserious first impression. She still walks him through the golems, hiding in the rock pile, always striking without warning. Even promises she won't hold it against him if the quest flops. The stat block backs up the warning: elite tier, solid health, and defense way higher than anything this level should carry. Watch this, he tells her, right as she insists she's still got his back with that bow. Turns out combat is a lot rougher than alchemy ever was for her, she admits mid-fight. He tells her to just stay hidden and let him handle it. He's already read the actual weakness too, that defense is sky high, so the plan is exploiting exactly what makes them tough in the first place. Let's have a proper confrontation then, he decides, and that's exactly where the fight kicks off. The plan's simple: use their own high defense against them, bait a direct confrontation, and just wear them down face first. Luo Qingyan's stuck on something else completely though. Why does this guy feel so familiar, handsome, stern, kind of sharp-tempered? It clicks for her mid-fight. Wait, isn't he the one who chased off those creeps at the tavern? She's convinced he's silently cursing her right now for tagging along uselessly. Still offers healing potions anyway. Don't be afraid, little brother. Big sister's got you. Gate of the Underworld opens up, and that's basically the end of the fight. Core secured, exactly what the quest needed. Special mission complete, and she can't process how fast it actually went, wondering if staying up all night brewing potions finally broke her brain. He brushes it off, just elite monsters, no big deal. Then she puts it together fully. This is also the guy who carried her back to her room that one drunk night, and now she owes him twice over. She has to ask though, someone this strong could have taken way bigger contracts, why hers specifically? He lays out the real reason: wants a high-level alchemist under exclusive contract, doesn't trust anyone tied to a guild, and she's the only one who actually fits. Frames it as a genuinely lucrative deal too. She's already sold before he even finishes, remembers exactly how decent he was that night, invites him for drinks after to talk details. He wants the contract locked in first though, business before drinks. Normally she hates contracts on principle, but for him specifically, no hesitation at all, sign away. Cooperation contract complete, official employer and alchemist now, and she's already asking what her big brother client needs help with first. He's got a recipe ready to hand over immediately. Then, something else catches his eye entirely. Wait, this place! He recognizes it from a forum post in his last life. These golem spawn points apparently follow an actual pattern. The angle finally clicks too. That old forum picture was taken from exactly this spot, which means there's a hidden dungeon entrance sitting right here. He's stunned. A rock forest of all places was hiding something like this. She's less thrilled. Just the two of them. Is that actually safe? He's honest about the gap in his own knowledge too. The old forum only ever had a picture of the entrance, nothing on what's actually inside. Risky or not, the payoff on these is always massive, worth going in blind. He does point out she's the one who insisted on tagging along in the first place. She plays it off easy, just curious, promises not to touch any of the loot, purely here to broaden her horizons. He lays down the terms anyway, since she's here. She follows his lead, straight to the entrance. What greets them is way bigger than expected. Underground ruins of an entire lost civilization, an actual ancient tomb. Total Indiana Jones territory, and the lore behind it is heavier too. This civilization once worshipped death itself. They chased actual immortality, mastered the art of building creatures from corpses, then vanished off the map centuries ago. She's already regretting this, bad feeling written all over her face. Then a faint buzzing sound. Mosquitoes, maybe, right before someone screams, "Wait!" Whatever that thing is, it's moving at quicksilver speed, and the last sound out of anyone is a scream. Stat check on the Wraith swarming them, common tier, but still packing nasty group control and a skill built for relentless chasing. Then the real problem shows up, some kind of insect monster, and Luo Qingyan's frozen solid can't move at all. Orders come fast, get her clear of the dungeon entirely. She still manages to lob buff potions his way even paralyzed. These should boost your stats temporarily, she manages. Agility up 10%, damage up 10%, defense up 10%, all stacked onto him mid-fight. The read on the bug is simple. It hits fast and hits hard, so clear the small stuff first and save the focus fire for it. This thing's smarter than expected too, actually timing its openings instead of just charging in blind. He brushes it off anyway, it's just a bug. Except, its defense reads 0 and he still can't land a scratch, which raises an actual question. Does it have some hidden defense trick running? Speed's absurd too. Single target damage is absurd. Exactly the kind of gap his usual strategy never accounts for. Not letting this one escape though. Lightning Scorpion gets the call, swoosh, and it's already cutting off the retreat. No amount of cunning saves it either, you're just a bug. Die. Turns out every hit was only chipping tiny damage the entire time, but trapped is trapped, victory was already a countdown. HP hits 0 clean. Unexpected bonus on top of it too, this thing showed actual traces of intelligence, a genuinely rare pull. Deeper in, a coffin waits, and the obvious question follows, can this thing even be opened? Turns out that's exactly why nothing about this dungeon ever showed up on the forums back in his last life. Opening it needs the Sacred Beetle's voluntary help specifically. Book of Curses acquired. Pick a skill. Pay the price. Options range from group damage amplification to fear, vision reduction, weakening, straight reflection, each one costing a real stat. Reads exactly like a civilization that worshipped death would build. Every single skill is a debuff, and none of them dispel easily. Damage amplification wins the pick, strongest practical value by far, and honestly, 200 max HP is nothing to him at this point. The beetle itself fills a gap too. He's never had real assassination or execution tools, and curse magic plus crowd control makes group fights way more precise. The whole species is undead, so no resurrecting them, not that it matters here. The actual payoff hits different though. That paralysis plus the beetle's high-speed stealth is basically built to stop the snake tamer from ever slipping away again. Stat card confirms just how absurd it is too. Attack 1000, defense 0, but any hit against it caps at exactly 1 damage, total plot armor mechanic. Next move simple, head back and restock the shop with fresh alchemy potions. Then a grunt out of nowhere and a voice demanding to know who's there. Turns out it's someone from a rival guild. Recognizing him instantly as the guy who took her quest, and not happy about it, didn't he know she's blacklisted with them? Sounds like somebody's got a death wish, comes the threat, total final boss music entering the scene. Luo Qingyan warns him fast, find a chance to slip out soon, they're actually here for her. Turns out this exact crew begged to take her contract before, lost their whole team to the monster inside, and now they're back trying to shake her down for it. One of them's furious too, blaming her outright for every level their brothers lost. 30 gold or neither of them walks out alive today, comes the threat. Something hits before anyone even sees it coming, and the panic is immediate. This is the art of curses. Their own healer gets roasted for failing to dispel it, useless, can't even handle 1 curse. Except it's not incompetence, boss. This specific curse art has literally never been seen before. Dispel check fails outright. They stay cocky anyway, 1 lucky surprise attack doesn't win a fight, 4 against 1 should still be easy. Then someone just drops, and the whole group loses it. When did he even attack? The actual play is simple. Stack damage through the curse, then send the fast little Sacred Scarab Beetle straight at their healer specifically. Total Uno reverse on their whole extortion plan. Keeps his whole approach way more flexible too. They're scrambling now, convinced he's just waiting on cooldown, screaming to finish him fast. Totally misread his class too, figures anyone leaning on summons has to be pure ranged, orders a straight charge. Yes sir, comes the response, right before the actual shock lands. Wait, he pulled a sword? Unfortunately, wrong guess. The beetle's still baffling them completely. What even is that thing? Every hit only takes 1 HP and nothing else works either. Their leader's completely rattled by the time it's over. How does someone wipe an entire team this clean? What class is this guy even running? Somebody quietly admits they didn't expect Luo Qingyan to pull in backup this strong. A different voice tries a straight bribe instead. Join our Raging Flames Guild. Whatever she's paying you, double it. Doubles down instantly too. No wait, 5 times the amount. Someone else clocks the bigger picture. Wait, there are even more people hiding in this ambush? Shut up and die instead, comes the answer. Corpse. Explosion. Art goes off immediately after. Bigger question hanging over everyone now. Was getting found purely bad luck, Or has someone been tracking them from the start? 3 more stragglers get flushed out right on cue. Watch out, split up now. Somebody finally puts the pieces together. Whatever this new group is, it's operating on a completely different level than the Raging Flames crew. Heaven and earth difference. Has to be a whole separate force entirely. Since the cover's already blown, their side just commits fully. Use that move. Understood, comes the reply. Whatever else you got, bring all of it, someone dares. Total Sasco energy, right back at them, you arrogant fool, go to hell. 70 chapters down, and he's still ahead of everyone who buried him. Tell me in the comments what you want to see next, and if this video hits 100 likes, I'll keep this recap going.